Hello and welcome to Stretford Paddock. This is the Watchalong for Manchester United versus Nottingham Forest, or should I say Nottingham Forest versus Manchester United. My name is Joe. This is Jay Motti. How are you doing, Joe?
My name is Joe. That's a film, isn't it?
Is it?
Is it Ken Loach film, I think? My name is Joe.
Any good?
Peter Mullen. He's a recovering alcoholic. It's quite good.
I bet it's very good.
It's reet good. We've got the team news out.
Yes.
Is that reet good?
Should we just get straight into the team news then? Let's start with that. So Manchester United team is as follows. We've got Onana in goal, a back four, an unchanged back four of Wan-Bissaka, Varane, and then next to him is Johnny Evans, and on the left-hand side is Diallo, an unchanged midfield three of Kobbie Mainoo, Christian Eriksen and Bruno Fernandes, which I want to get into that midfield three in a minute, especially Christian Eriksen and Kobbie Mainoo as a partnership. And then unfortunately, we do have a changed front line. So Rasmus Højlund comes out for Anthony, and then we're predicting that it'll be Rashford through the middle, Anthony back on his usual right-hand side, and Garnacho back on his usual left-hand side after being out on the right last week with Rashford on the left. So a slightly muddled front three, but it's a front three with no Højlund. That means now on the bench, United have got no strikers whatsoever. Fortunately, Amad Diallo is back after his long-term injury, but no strikers whatsoever. We've got Diallo, we've got Pellistri, Martial isn't on the bench, Højlund isn't on the bench either. What do you make of that team, and what do you make of the options or lack thereof off the bench?
I think in terms of the team, I'm just gutted that Højlund's injured. Obviously, he is. He wouldn't be not in the squad if he wasn't. Yeah. So it is devastating because he's just got off the mark in the Premier League. The front three of Garnacho on the left, Marcus on the left, Garnacho on the right, and Højlund down the middle looked, I thought, fantastic against Aston Villa. They linked up well. Yeah. You know, Marcus got an assist, Garnacho got a couple of goals, and had a goal disallowed. Højlund got his goal. They all contributed, they all worked well, and they all gave the Villa defence an absolutely torrid time. And that Villa defence isn't terrible. Like, you know, they've got some decent players, but they made them look bang average at times. So I was looking forward to seeing them going into this game, especially when we've got a bit of a break before the next Premier League game. I think it's 14 days, or 15 days, sorry. So you think, right, okay, let's see them kick on from there. So to lose them, and then to lose Højlund, and then to lose him in a way that just affects everything. Because then you've got to take Marcus off the left and put him down the middle. Yep. And I think that isn't a great position for him. I think he can play there, and he's played there well in the past, but it's not his best position, and I don't think he's done anything there for a little while. And then Anthony on the right, I'm waiting for Anthony to silence me. I'm waiting for him to shut me up. I'm waiting for him to show me I am wrong, because I don't rate the kid.
No.
Yeah? And I want him to. I want him, at the end of this match, people to go, oh, Jay, you were wrong, yeah, and troll me. I love that, because I want to see my players playing well. I just don't look at Anthony and think he's the answer. And I think he's had enough time now to have shown us more than what he has shown us. I know he's had stuff going on off the pitch or whatever, but last season I thought he was okay. Not great, if I'm being brutally honest. Yeah. This season I think he's been terrible. Yeah. So I hope he proves me wrong. Put it out there. But you're now going into a front three, which for me, if the front three out against Villa was like an 8 out of 10 front three, this is probably a 6. Yeah. Because you're missing Højlund, you're missing Marcus in his best position, and you're bringing in a player, for me, who isn't all that.
Yeah, I completely agree with that. Just talking about Aston Villa, just some of the other scores. Burnley just scored against Aston Villa, 10 men Burnley, to make it 2-2, which is mad, really, isn't it? I mean, it's at Villa Park, where Villa, I don't think, have lost in, 15 games or something ridiculous until...
Yeah. 15 years, actually.
Yeah, 15 years. Although they struggled, didn't they, against Sheffield United last week?
They looked like they've fallen off a bit of a cliff, I think. Not necessarily form-wise, but just maybe just the energy. They seem to just be knackered against United. I know that's a basic argument, but you could see it. I thought their 2 goals were obviously well-worked set pieces, but they didn't offer a lot going forward. It's not like you were like, oh, we're under the cosh here, and Andre Onana, I know he had a very good save in the second half, but was constantly getting peppered with shots. He wasn't. So, like you say, the Sheffield United game, not doing great today. I know the game's not over, and there's every chance they'll win it against 10-man Burnley. But yeah, it does feel like they've got to that point where people are going, actually, they're in a title race, and then since people have said that, they've tailed off.
Yeah, and I think it'd be good as well, obviously, if United want to get top 4, I think Burnley are the most likely team, Villa are the most likely team to drop out of that. Yeah. So they're not going to win the league, which we'd all love. If United aren't going to, I'd pick Villa, but I don't think they're going to, so start losing and let United get that 4th spot. Man City 2-0 up, Crystal Palace are 3-1 up against Brentford, 2-0 against Sheffield United, by the way, Man City, and Wolves are 3-0 up against Everton. Everton seem to either win 3-0 or lose 3-0 at the minute as well, don't they?
They're a mad team, aren't they, Everton? Because they've been on this run since they got that point deduction. I think after we beat them, they went on a run and there was 4 wins out of 5 or something, I can't remember, but it was a really good run that basically just erased that points deduction within a month. It was like, wow, that's not even a thing anymore. I know obviously it still happened, but they'd bounce back from it. But they're getting the backsides handed to them by Wolves. I didn't answer the second part of your question earlier as well. You said about the bench and the lack of options there. Forgive me. I think midfield wise, you can bring in McTominay, he can get forward. Maybe you can move Bruno over to the right if Anthony's not doing the business. Diallo is an option. He can play, I think, on the right or on the left, or probably not down the middle, but he can play off the striker, I think. So you've got options. They're just not great, are they?
No.
There's no one there where you go, oh yeah, bring him on. He's going to cause problems.
Diallo hasn't played for Manchester United in nearly 2 years.
No.
So it's not as though, yes, he's coming back from injury, but he's also...
This is a good chance for him, though,
played.
If he came on for Anthony and did bits, then he's got to be in that conversation. Because Anthony's not really... Has Anthony got a goal and an assist this season? Am I forgetting it? He probably hasn't. I've forgotten.
I don't think he has. No, he hasn't.
Right, okay.
Not in the league, anyway.
Right, so if Diallo comes on and says just Nick's a winner...
Or in any other competition. I said it like he might have. He hasn't got any in any comps, league or otherwise.
I think that this could be an opportunity for him to just show the manager, because I don't think this manager rates him. I know he's been injured, but I don't think the manager feels too much about him. But
about Ahmad, you mean?
Yeah, sorry. But if he comes on today and gets a result, helps us get a result, then why not? Why not put him in that conversation? Because there's no doubt in his talent. Remember when we had Fabrizio Romano on the Tier 1 podcast?
Yeah.
And we just bought Diallo. And he praised United, right? Because there's a lot of people. The thing with United, when we buy someone, if we buy a player for 10 million, going up to 50 million with add-ons, and all them add-ons are like if he wins the Ballon d'Or, if he wins the Champions League, if he wins the treble, if he wins, he scores 100 goals, the press will count all the add-ons. Yeah. So they'll go, you've paid 50 million for him, and we haven't. Now, I'm not defending Manchester United's transfer policy because it's been shambolic, but a lot of these transfer fees you hear, we don't pay that because we don't get anywhere near those add-ons. Yeah. Now, Diallo, I think, cost about sort of 14, 15 million, but with add-ons, he went up to 37. Now, I hope we do pay 37 because I think some of them add-ons, like when he's reached, 50 appearances, scored so many goals, won so many trophies, whatever, so you're unlikely to pay that. But we went early with him because I think he played like an hour of professional football.
It's mad, isn't it?
Which sounds crackers, but Fabrizio Romano was saying, obviously he's got ties everywhere, but especially to Italy, he was saying like he'd spoken to the Atalanta squad and they were raving about him. They were saying this kid is mint in training. And he said he was surprised that someone like Juve didn't come in for him, just go early with him. And he thought United did well to get him. So he's not had an easy time of it. There was all these rumours, weren't there, that he'd been child trafficked and all this, and then which is not his fault, but there was a lot of intrigue going on as like what has happened to this poor kid. Obviously, he went out on loan, went to Rangers, wasn't really that great. Went to Sunderland, did really well. I think 13 goals in the Championship at the age of 20, 21 is no mean feat. But now is the time when you look at him, you go, okay, is he going to do something for United? If he is, maybe this season he needs to show something.
Yeah, I think we need to start, like you said, start seeing a player there, don't we, at some point? Because, he's a young lad, but he's not so young that no one's ever come through. He's 21.
That's what I mean.
Plenty of players make their mark.
It's the James Garner
then.
age, innit?
Yeah.
Like James Garner, everyone was like, oh, he's got a future at United. When he hit 21, everyone was like, well, he's not in the team now. And then the manager sold him to Everton. It's just like, I think 21 feels like the magic number for a lot of players, doesn't it? Where you go, oh, if you've not done it by 21, you're not showing something, you're probably going to end up having a career elsewhere. Yeah,
probably. Just another player, speaking about careers elsewhere, on the bench, obviously, no Rasmus Højlund, no Martial either. And he was asked about this, someone asking the question about he's been unwell or ill for nearly 3 weeks now.
3 weeks?
Something like that. He was asked a question about it on the press conference, that he'd been out for around 3 weeks or so with illness. And it was sort of, they were clear. I don't remember who, I couldn't tell from the voice, and so I don't know who it was who asked the question. But you could tell they were sort of hinting at the fact, like, so it basically went, Martial, he's been ill for nearly 3 weeks now. Is everything all right there? How severe is this illness? Basically saying, he's not ill, is he? What's going on? And Ten Hag just replied saying, he's unwell, he's not available. To me, he's fucked him off, hasn't he? Because I can't, what illness are you unable to play for 3 weeks?
Yeah.
That's like, either it's like a life-changing illness,
Yeah.
or he sacked him off. Because, ill is, what's the worst illness you can get? That's like you recover like a flu.
I'm not saying.
No, but I mean like something where it's like illness. Is a flu, isn't it? You're out
maybe
for a
the
week or so.
Rona or something.
Yeah.
You go, okay, he's got the virus.
Maybe 10 days.
10 days, but
anything more than that is like, oh right, he's really not very well here.
Yeah.
And you'd think there would be mention of it.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
It's weird, isn't it? Because then you start looking at things in retrospect, don't you? Because Sancho used to be ill quite a bit, didn't he?
Yeah.
We had he's ill. He's ill. And now you look back, you think, was he always ill? Do you know what I mean? Were all these little odd days here and there where he was ill, or was that just the manager didn't fancy him and just didn't want to, was annoyed at something he'd done and didn't want to make a big deal out of it?
Yeah.
I don't know, but I understand what you're saying here with Martial. And if that is the case, if Eric Ten Hag is going, look, I'm not going to come out and say I don't fancy him, he's not showing me anything in training after what's going on with Sancho, I'm going to say he's ill, then the only issue there is someone like Sancho might go, well, how come he's getting protected?
Yeah.
And I'm not. Why don't you? If you don't rate him, you don't think he's performing well enough in training or whatever, come out and say that, because that's what you did with me.
Yeah.
So if that is the case,
it's
a rocky road to go down.
Helped him, or tried to help him, for months last season, hadn't he? It wasn't the first instance with Sancho, was it?
No, I hear you,
Yeah.
and it does seem a little bit odd. But I mean, he might even be. I don't know. I hate to sort of speculate on mental health, but it might be mentally he's not great.
Yeah.
So you might say, look, he's not in a good place. He's unwell. He's ill, and
that's possible.
That I think if he had a physical illness or a mental illness, those two things for me should be treated the same. So if he is mentally not great, then maybe that is it. I don't know, but I get your point, because it's quite rare for a player to just be ill for 3 weeks, and also because it's Martial. If it was Bruno, people will think, well, he's ill, he never misses a game. Yeah, he's obviously caught something like food poisoning or whatever,
pneumonia or something,
like lost loads of weight and just isn't great, and he needs time to recover. But because it's Martial, there's always question marks about his future. There's always question marks about whether he really wants to be at Manchester United. Yeah. We've been hearing those sort of questions on and off since 2017 about. Yeah. It does. It just adds to more intrigue.
For anyone who's just joining, asking in the comments, Højlund is out with illness. He's poorly. Don't know what it is. Not specified. But that is why he isn't in the squad whatsoever. Which is why we see
maybe
that
he's caught that bug off
through.
Martial.
Maybe he has. Yeah, hopefully not, because he'll be out until fucking March. Do you think we're gearing up for Martial to leave in January?
No.
Just numbers wise, or do you think he fancies him?
I think it's probably more the former. I think it's numbers. I think that whatever happens, I've sort of talked myself into believing now we're not going to let anyone go in January. Yeah. Unless it's like, Dan Gore goes out on loan or something like that. No disrespect to the kid, but someone who's not really going to get any minutes. Yeah. I just feel that there was talk of Casemiro, there was talk of Varane, talk of Martial. The issue you've got there is Varane starts today, and when push comes to shove, if everyone's 100% fit and he's 100%, he probably starts.
Yeah, I think he does.
Casemiro, when push comes to shove, again, he probably starts for you. And if he doesn't, he's a very close second in that midfield. So are you going to let two players who you would use leave? No, I don't think you are. Martial, I think if he was any other position on the pitch other than centre forward, he'd have been binned off a long time ago. But we've got one striker in Rasmus Højlund other than Martial. Today, we've got no strikers. You've got Marcus Rashford, who's an inverted left winger, playing as a striker. So I don't think you can afford to lose Anthony Martial. Even if you only got 4 or 5 games out of him, between now and the end of the season. Yeah. Those are 4 or 5 games you need him for. So we're not going to go out and spend big money on a striker in January. If we were going to go out and buy like Ivan Toney and I don't know, Dominic Solanke. Yeah. I know we're not going to, but if we were, then you go, yeah, get rid of him. But we're not.
What about, could you see a scenario where we get someone in on loan and sell Martial? On loan to the end of the season and sell Martial?
Possibly. I mean, we sent... for me, the writing was on the wall with Anthony Martial when he went on loan to Seville. Yeah. That should have been the end of him at United. Not that particular move, but to loan out a 25-year-old striker who 2 seasons ago got you 23 goals in a season, to loan him out is unheard of. Yeah, I have never, ever seen that before at a club where they go, well, to one of your main strikers, you can go out on loan.
And it was the same manager for whom he scored those 23 goals.
It
wasn't like some new bloke came in and didn't fancy him.
No.
It was Solskjaer who loaned him out.
And he loaned him out because he wasn't doing anything for us.
Yeah.
That was it. He thought, I'm not getting anything out of you. I know he scored against Everton, but I'm, under Ollie, that season. But you may as well go out on loan and get football. And I thought, this is bonkers. He's got to go. He's got to go. And I quite like Tony M, but he's, you can't continue. He went to Sevilla, right? Sevilla were in a title race, and it was Lopetegui who was the manager at the time.
I think it might well have been.
And I remember,
sure, actually.
double check that, right? And this is the issue I have with Matty Martial. I think for whatever reason, I think he might have just fallen out of love of football or whatever, because Sevilla just went turbo on their socials about Martial. It was like, oh, Martial is the greatest player ever. We've got Martial doing all these videos and memes and everything about how buzzing they were. You'd think they'd signed like Mbappe the way they were going on.
Yeah.
And then he got there, and I think it was after his first game. I'm sure it was Lopetegui said
it was.
He's got to do better. That's not acceptable at this club. Like, he called him out after one game, saying, not he's not fit or he's a bit off the pace or he's got to adapt. It was literally like, that will not be tolerated at this football club, so you better fix up. And you thought, Jesus, what, you only got there this morning? I know. You know what I mean? Like, what are you doing?
It is worrying, isn't it? And there's been these signs throughout his whole career, haven't there, that he's too much of a sort of form player. And he'll not happily, I'm sure he's not happy about it, but he'll quite regularly go 2 years in a row and not really do anything. You can't,
this is the worry I have with Marcus. Marcus has got to get out of this one season on, one season off thing that has happened. He's last season was phenomenal. This season he's not been great. The season before last season he wasn't great. The top players don't do that.
No.
They don't. They might have one season where Son had it last season anyway. He scored like 12 goals or 14 goals, whatever, in all competitions. It can happen, but just crash bang wallet. We seem to be being invaded.
Absolutely smashed. Andy Tate smashing through the door. Yeah,
it's a good job we're not live.
Yeah.
Where he didn't score a lot of goals at all, but this season he's been flying. So next season, I think this season, we need to see more from Marcus, and since Andy Martial, I just think it's one of those where I can't see this having a happy ending now. I think it's done.
No. And I almost think the longer he stays, the more transfer windows that he stays through, the worse United look and the worse Ten Hag looks and the worse, Ratcliffe and whoever it is that's now in charge looks, because he's so clear. Like Van der Beek's a similar thing, and it's not Van der Beek's fault. It's not particularly Martial's fault. I don't know what's going on behind the scenes, but I'm not accusing them of anything in particular.
No.
But there were certain players that under Solskjaer that were there when he arrived and they were there when he left. Phil Jones being an example of that.
Yeah.
Certain players who people were questioning at the start were still questioning at the end, and then they were still there.
Yeah.
And I think that you can't really have that. You can't. We need to get rid of this feeling that United is, a sort of a comfortable bed for people to lie in just while they're chilling out. It needs to be a place that's hard and difficult and welcoming, and obviously, a good place to be, but not somewhere where you get to just chill out. It's not a care home.
No.
It's a place where people are meant to be the best in the world at what they do. And you got people, we saw it with Ronaldo, by the end he was sort of sacked it all off. We've seen it with Sancho. Van der Beek's another one. He just doesn't play for United.
No, isn't he going to? Is it Frankfurt he's going to?
Yeah, so he is going, which is good. But you can't have these players who year after year after year don't really do much and still are there. It doesn't happen at City, does it? When's the last time a player sat on the bench for 2 years at City and didn't get sold? Just doesn't happen.
You don't last. The closest they've got is Calvin Phillips, but I think he's going in January.
Yeah.
And even he was out for a big spell of injury, wasn't he?
He's only been there 1 year.
Yeah.
It's the second
sorry. Yeah. So 2 years now, it doesn't really happen, does it?
No.
You're right. And even like the Scousers, it's rare for them. Even Arsenal now, they've got their act together. You don't really tend to get these players because Arteta, I think one of the reasons he kept his job was because they could see the changes that needs to be done. So a lot of those sort of senior players, I'm not sure if Ozil was still there when he got in.
I think he was, wasn't he? I think he was.
It feels like a different era, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Aubameyang, he had to go. One or two others who just weren't quite at the levels and just whatever. Not even levels necessarily, it might just be, felt like they didn't want to contribute what he wanted them to contribute. Yeah. So he moved them on.
Even some players who were good last season, like Xhaka, there's a ceiling there that's probably not title winning.
Yeah.
It was almost proved last season.
He's done it with Ramsdale, hasn't he? He's gone. I mean, you might question whether David Raya is the answer, but he bought Ramsdale, but he just thought you're not that guy. And I kind of respect that, even when I don't agree with it. Even if I don't agree with the player he's brought in, whether he's that good. I kind of respect the idea that if you've bought someone and you don't think they're up to it, then the right thing to do is replace him.
Yeah.
I think that's it. And I've said it many a time about Ten Hag. He needs to be afforded to do that, because Pep did it with Claudio Bravo, didn't he, and Edison and Nolito and a couple of others. Not many, to be fair to him, but if we've bought a player and he's not quite done what we wanted him to do, maybe Anthony's a good example, then that shouldn't be it. You should be able to go, okay, I'm going to bring in someone else and replace him.
Because otherwise, if you're not allowed to do that, the implication is, as Villa score an 89th minute penalty or a 90th minute penalty to probably win that game against Burnley.
There you go. Sorry, Burnley, it's all over.
Because otherwise, the implication is, if you don't get your first 11 transfers right in a row, then you should get sacked. And it's like, that's not how football works. Like, that's ridiculous. Sometimes you try someone, it doesn't work, you try again. But otherwise, it's like, well, you've signed your keeper now, he's got to work. You've signed your right back, he's got to work. There's your centre back, there's your other centre back, there's your and if you don't win the league with these 11 transfers, you're shit and you're gone.
The thing is, right,
me
and you were talking about this a few weeks ago, and I was saying sometimes managers start building a team that just gets them to a certain point, and then they have a more longer term team as well.
Yeah.
Like Fergie, for example. I'll explain what I mean, because it doesn't make much sense. Like, he bought a lot of players when he came in. Some of those players, like Viv Anderson, for example, was his first signing. Viv Anderson never got anywhere near a title-winning team with Manchester United, but he brought him in for a job to do at the time. Yeah. He brought in Jim Leighton for a job to do at the time. Jim Leighton was long gone before we ever won the title. He brought in Danny Wallace. Danny Wallace, I think, didn't play a game in the Premier League for us, or if he did, it was one. Mike Phelan didn't play barely any Premier League games for us. So he brought in these players, and they helped us win the FA Cup, and the Cup Winners' Cup and all that. But then he was also bringing in likes of Gary Pallister, Chocky, Paul Ince, Mark Hughes, players that were more long-term as well.
Yeah.
And there's an element of that with any sort of club. And I think we've seen it with Arsenal, with Ramsdale and what he's trying to do now with Raya. We saw it with City when he came in, he brought Bravo. No, they won it the second season, Pep was there. And maybe we've seen that with Ten Hag. But I think you're right, because I think that's what did Jose's head in. I think it was Jose, it was like, well, you're not having Harry Maguire because you bought Victor Lindelof last year or whatever. You're not having, I don't know, whoever, another midfielder because you bought Mkhitaryan and Pogba 2 years ago. He's like, well, that's not how I work.
No.
If I want a player and I say we need a player, we go out and get him. That's how I've always done it. No, I'll give you a shortlist or whatever, I have a load of sites, you go and get me one of him. And they just stopped doing that, and I think that's why he got miffed off. And we've seen how since then United have had that kind of policy where, you buy you buy a certain amount and that's it. Yeah. Regardless of whether they work out or not.
It's not something that, especially the longer we go without a title, theoretically the more you almost need to bring in to get that title again.
Yeah.
Like, I know obviously you don't get further and further away. We've had some second place finishes and stuff. But in terms of the mentality of the squad and the ability to just turn it around, you can't do that anymore. Chelsea did it for years, didn't they? They sort of surfed that kind of first in the league, second, fourth, second, first, second, first, fourth. Like, they sort of surfed some titles up and down. But typically, if you're finishing and battling for top four, you almost usually need a season in between those two before you win the title again. You need a title race before you win it. Yeah. Look at Liverpool did it, City did it, United did it before we won the title.
Yeah, we lost to Leeds in '92, and then obviously the season later, you kick on and get over the line. You're right, the Scousers did it. Then when he got to 97 points, didn't win it. Then they did win it. And
it's almost like with United, where we're expected to go right. I know you finished 5th last season, but we spent 200 million this year. So if you can't challenge for the league with these lot, then you're probably shit. Yeah. And we'll get a new one in. Like, it doesn't work like that anymore. No. And it's been proven over 25 years. Other than Chelsea, you can't really go from finishing 4th or 5th to challenging for the title or winning the title the next season. It takes time, and you have to build up and actually make a couple of mistakes along the way. And especially when, over the last decade in particular, we've seen that United's transfer policy and contract policy, which has then influenced the transfer policy. You can't just make bad decisions and expect the manager to still succeed. No. Like, you buy him shit players and go, well, look, we spent loads of money on people who weren't worth it, but, we still spent 150 million. Why can't you win the league? Because you've spent 150 million quid on 40 million quid's worth of players. That's why. What was it? Anthony, we scouted him, and we determined that he was worth about 25 million.
Yeah.
And fucking 6 months later, we are spending 18 or 90 million quid on it.
It's actually mental. What are the comments saying, by the way, in the chat?
Yeah, we've got a few super chats. Danny Shields, great to see you lads on Thursday night. Great show, great night. Looking forward to next year already. Thank you, Danny. That was in reference to the live show we did in Dublin a couple of nights ago, which was just absolutely fantastic.
Fantastic, yeah. Wes Brown was there, Webby was there, us lot were there. Yeah. It was a great night, great to meet all the passionate Manchester United fans from Ireland and Dublin. Yeah, just a top night. I'm going to be back there again in a few months' time.
Yes, of course. Danny Inns says, hi lads, have you recorded the live show and will it be available for members to watch? We haven't, unfortunately, just in terms of production and all the sort of stuff that needed to go into
I know
it. We didn't record it.
Last time we did that, and we were going to be doing some more live events over the next year. We were hoping to do like at least 3 or 4. So we'll be putting them up on our member stuff. We've got member stuff coming up as well in the next few weeks as well. So make sure you check out that. I know we're in the 12 days of Christmas. We'll sort of be announcing that in the new year as well, giving out some prizes for everyone who's joined the membership. So keep an eye out on that as well.
Yeah, and also members will get discounts and first access to tickets and stuff as well. So whilst you may not have got the recording, if you want to come, members definitely have priority on all of that stuff. FPL Mickle says we need Joe at the game for the wins, not in the studio.
Yeah, you got a good your record's like the opposite of mine, isn't it?
It's been fantastic. Last 18 months. It's because I don't go to that many.
No, because you do God's work here in the studio. Yeah. Everyone knows that. Not like you just can't be bothered.
No.
What games have you been to in the last 18 months?
I've missed the one blot on my record is.
I know. Can I tell you? I was going to say.
Sorry. Yeah.
No, because I felt bad because
you literally apologised to me for giving me a ticket to that.
Yeah, because I said to Joe, because I stopped doing aways a few years ago. Now and again, I'll go like when we played Barcelona. I wanted to go to the new camp, so and I said I want to go to Atletico away. So rather than me just going, I'm going to Atletico away, and this is at the time when I always did the home games. I'll go away, you go to the home game, and you like, no, you don't have to do that. I was like, nah, it's only fair, and I'll do just watch along and all that. It's not the end of the world. And then you went to the home game, and it was for me one of the worst performances I've seen.
So boring, so pathetic. Other than that one shot, was it Elanga?
Elanga, from about 5 yards.
Funnily enough, who's
they were probably banging in top bins from 30 yards later.
Elanga had a half chance about 8 minutes into the game.
Yeah,
and we didn't have a single one after that.
No,
and it was awful. But around that, saw us beat City.
Amazing.
Saw us beat Barcelona.
Don't get any better.
And that, by the way, was a free ticket that someone just offered me on Twitter that was in the, what's it called? Like hospitality, free drinks and a meal beforehand at the, what's it called? Don't know, around the corner where Warehouse Project used to be.
Oh, Red Square, not Red Square. Victoria Warehouse.
Free meal.
Is that when I saw you? You were there with your old man. I saw you in the tunnel. And he was like, we didn't know that he was like, is this legit?
This can't be right. The tickets were like 400 quid.
Yeah, and he's like, I've just got a free one, you can have it.
And we were like, there's no possible way. Me and my dad were like, worst case scenario, we'll just watch it in a pub nearby.
Yeah, I like that.
Like, whatever. We'll go to the Matchstick Man or whatever. And then we got there and he was like, yeah, come in. I could not believe it. So that was like the most incredible ticket experience I've ever had. Beat Barcelona. What was the other one?
Newcastle's my favourite.
Newcastle.
Because Newcastle, the thing with the Newcastle one, right? It's not even the fact we beat Newcastle because that, happens. It was the fact that before the season started, you went, I want to go to a game like pretty early doors. Yeah. Like, what game can I pick? I'll pick one that's not like everyone wants, because Leeds, everyone wanted to be there because it's Leeds and we all hate Leeds to come and all that. And it was like, right, I won't do Leeds, I'll do Newcastle. And then just a week before the Newcastle game, we bought Ronnie. And I swear to God, right, I have never in my life as a United fan, I'm being genuine now, and I've been, I've been supporting United since like the 80s, where we've been to so many cup finals, so many big games. Yeah. I have never had as many phone calls for tickets as I had for that Newcastle game.
Really?
Everyone. I got offered silly money for my ticket. I didn't sell it, obviously, I went. But it was like, they were like rocking our shit. And you had one. And
I thought
you
we were going to win the league after that game as well. Me and my dad, we hid some beers near one of the car sort of sales, like forecourts. And we went back and got our beers and sat on like the bonnet of a fucking unsold Ford Focus. We're like, we're going to do it, aren't we? This is it. And then it was shit.
So that's another good one. Yeah. And then you did Villa this season.
Villa the other night, yeah. Fantastic. Also, I need to show you this, Jay. Arbroath have just brought their substitute keeper on outfield.
Right.
Look at the goal he scored.
That's genuinely one of the best goals I've ever seen in my life.
If you're on social,
we can't show you because
go on Twitter and just search Arbroath keeper. It is one of the best goals I've ever seen.
Why are they bringing him on as an outfield player?
Because obviously he probably does that in training occasionally.
Right, and he's just thought, right, go on and do your party trick, and he's done it. Fair play to him.
Div8 says, and I don't know if this is sort of laced with sarcasm or if you're his favourite person in the world, but he said, whatever Jay is saying is absolutely correct. He's always correct about everything. Shame the UK government hasn't made him king yet. That feels like something that like Laura would say taking the piss, or someone who really likes you would say trying to be nice.
I think there might be a hint of sarcasm there, but I'll pretend it's not and say thank you. Thank you. What's his name? Dive. Thank you, son.
And J.E. Frasconi says, good day, gents. Very nice, like a good day. I want to wish you a happy new year and say thanks for being a great channel for United fans around the globe. Thank you very much. Best wishes for 2024 and glory, glory, Manchester United.
Yeah, man. Thank you. I don't like what Jamie Redknapp's wearing, by the way.
He's sort of gone with...
I've got a jumper similar to that I got Christmas, but the combo isn't working.
So he's got sort of top half, Ben Ainsley.
Yes.
Kind of, what's it called? Sailboat champion.
Yeah.
And then bottom half is sort of Stephen Howson in the Norfolk Broads. Climbing up some sort of mountain, isn't it? It's a very interesting combo he's gone for there.
Are you worried about Nottingham Forest? We talk about Nottingham Forest and their team because they had a fantastic result against Newcastle United the other day, didn't they?
They did.
Where Chris Wood, who I think scored about 4 goals the entire time he played for Newcastle, banged in 3 against them in about 40 minutes, whatever it was. Yeah. Very good performance by them. Good all-round performance. I know Newcastle have got injuries, although they don't like to talk about it, but you can't not go into St James's and comfortably winning. Was it 3-2 or something?
3-1.
3-1 in the end.
Yeah.
Talk us through if you've got it there.
Yeah.
The Nottingham Forest team.
So we've got Turner, Montiel, Niakate, Murillo, Aina, Danilo, Yates, Gibbs White, Dominguez, Elanga and Wood. Now history would tell us that Wood's done scoring for the season. Yeah. Just in terms of numbers. However, these aren't the times you want to catch someone, is it? Do you remember certain players like, what was his name, that Italian striker that Southampton had when we played against him? Yeah. And he had a goal disallowed, didn't he? That shouldn't have been disallowed or for offside, I think. Yeah. But occasionally you catch these players who, in and around that, barely score, but you just catch them on their good form, their good streak, and they can be dangerous. Are you worried about Chris Wood, or is he someone that you think will be all right?
No, I'm not. I mean...
Gabbiadini.
I was going to say, was it Gabbiadini?
I think so, yeah.
So, I'm not really. I mean, he had a good game, and he's a decent player. I watched that game, and I do think there was some poor defending, and I thought Dubravka made it a little bit easy for him as well. He finished well, but he was like, you could see what he was going to do, and he also seemed to fall for it. And then I went on Twitter, because I saw like the first goal was obviously tapping. The second goal, I didn't really see it at the time, because I was watching the game, and then my lad wanted to play FIFA at half time, so we played that. And for the second half, we had started, the goal had already got in. And I went on Twitter and everyone was like, oh, this is amazing, Romario-esque and all that. So I rewound it to see the goal, and I thought it was a good goal, but it weren't as good as everyone was making out. And obviously he took his third well as well, which was very similar to his second. So he did well. He's one of them. He's an handful, innit? Yeah. It's one of those players you go, he's an handful. You know, he's going to sort of make it a difficult afternoon for you. It's a similar thing with Anthony Elanga. Like, Anthony Elanga's done really well there. I think he's got like, is it 8 or 9 goal involvements this season? Yeah. Again, though, a good player, and it was a shame the way it was handled for him. You know, I don't think we handled it in a great way. Sort of playing him when he was out of form and throwing him in all the time when it wasn't happening for him. But he's a player that you should be able to deal with. Yeah. He's not like unstoppable. No. But he is a good player. You have to respect that. So you know, if we are defenders and our midfielders play well, we can stop the likes of Chris Wood and Anthony Elanga. If we don't, we'll get punished. Yeah, we will. And obviously we saw that against Forest in the home game this season, didn't we? 2-0 down after about 7 minutes. Yeah. One was, the second one in particular was just switching off from our own corner. Yeah. And obviously Elanga's got the pace. I know it wasn't him in that game, but Elanga's got the pace to punish us if we do something like that again. Yeah. Just on their bench, I just want to talk about Hudson-Odoi, who obviously came through at Chelsea, played in 1 or 2 of those like championship winning England under 21, 18, 17 sides. He was touted as like one of the best young players in the world at one point. He's 23 now, and he's not starting for Forest.
quite not to sort of pick on him, but it surprised me to see him on the bench because there was all rumours of Dortmund wanting him and all sorts of teams.
He was going to go to Bayern Munich. Bayern Munich in for him at one point. Yeah, Bayern Munich were in for him at one point as well.
Quite a fall from grace, really, or just then, not quite hitting the potential that it seemed like he might.
So many young players have done it.
Yeah.
Like you look at some of the sort of the great young players who play for England under 21s. Very rarely you see you look at England under 21s team. In 10 years' time, how many of those players actually play for the England first team?
1, 2, 3.
Yeah, there's so many players your Henry Lansbury's, those types of players where you go, oh my God, he's amazing. Like, I used to love Ryan Tunnicliffe when he played for us in the academy.
Yeah.
Did he ever make it in the Premier League? Not quite.
No.
Do you know what I mean? There's other players that Tuan Zabi was phenomenal as a youngster, and he played well for United in the first team occasionally as well. To be fair to the kid,
Angel Gomez.
It's like,
I know he's got a decent career, but he didn't come through at United.
The way they were supposed. Like Tahith Chong today, he came off the bench and he did very well against Chelsea, but he was being touted as a superstar.
Yeah.
And this was 4 years ago.
Yeah.
And he's like, he's like 22, whatever now. People going like, Tahith Chong is going to be the next big thing, and he's on the bench for Luton. No disrespect to him. Even Ross Barkley, who started for Luton and played well. Again, I don't sound like I'm bashing Luton, but they've sort of got a team together from former wonder kids.
Yeah.
Ross Barkley was like, they're going to be the next big thing. Everton, loved him. Goes to Chelsea, don't really work out. He's nowhere near the England team now.
No. It's interesting, isn't it? Like, you realise what it takes to take that jump up.
Yeah.
And obviously, back to United, the similar jump from the Championship to the Premier League, which Diallo is going to have to Ahmad is going to have to kind of navigate now as well. Obviously, he's back in the team. Never went out on loan, partially due to that injury, I think. But United are pretty thin on the right-hand side. And if, who knows how long Højlund's going to be out for. Hopefully it's not very long. It is just an illness, supposedly. But, that might be a week or two. We'll see. He might have some opportunities.
Are you worried about the Nuno factor?
Because he's a decent manager, isn't he?
Coming in, obviously, they got that result against Forest. I don't think that was his first against Newcastle. I don't think that was his first game, was it?
No.
Coming back. But he's a good manager. He seems to, they played better than they've played all season against Newcastle.
Yeah.
And there's that question, has he just sort of come in and fix things?
I feel a bit sorry for Nuno. I think his managerial record is good. 50% win rate at Valencia, 55 at Porto, 47 at Wolves, which is no mean feat when you think he was there for 4 years and they're not a great team, are they? He kept them sort of relatively consistently top half, which again, they're a decent team, but you've still got to put some work in to do that. The Tottenham one, it was only, 47% win rate, and you'd expect it to be higher than it was for Wolves. But even so, we said it on the preview, loads of Tottenham fans didn't want him anyway because they thought they were getting a big name manager, and they've ended up getting someone that left Wolves with his reputation slightly damaged, and they didn't want him from the start, and it was never going to work there. Then he went to Al Ittihad, 65% win rate. Again, who knows how to judge that? But he's never really truly had a calamitous time. Even the Tottenham one, 8 wins, 7 losses, 2 draws. It's not great, but he's not a shit manager. He's genuinely done all right pretty much everywhere he's been in. In some places he's done really well. And defensively, I remember Wolves was so hard to score against when he was there. I don't know if there was that record. It might even still be the case post him, but certainly while he was there, I don't think United ever scored more than 1 goal against Wolves. It was like something ludicrous, or if they did, they barely did. So he'll get them defending well. His teams don't usually score a load of goals, but we don't score many. So if they can defend well, they might be able to keep a clean sheet and then sort of take it from there. But yeah, I think he's a good manager. Do you like him? Obviously not United standard, but in terms of sort of 6th to 12th, do you rate him? Do you think he's a good manager?
Yeah, I do rate Nuno. Andy's here, by the way. We're going to be here from Andy Tate at half time as well and full time. So make sure you're hitting like, share and subscribe. I do rate him. I think he's a decent manager.
Yeah.
I think he's probably a sort of mid-table manager.
Yeah.
I don't think Spurs was his chance, wasn't it? And although he wasn't really given a fair crack at the whip, I don't see him getting that chance again at a top sort of 5 or 6 club.
No.
I think the only way he gets into the top 6 is if you take someone like a Forest or a club like that into that position, and it's going to be very difficult. So I think he's a good manager, someone sort of reliable manager who probably, is a little bit underrated. But if he keeps Forest up and he keeps them safe, then this will be his opportunity to be in and around the Premier League again and show what he's about. Because it's quite packed in it in terms of those types of managers who are good, who can get you, around mid-table, but probably not good enough to get you challenging at the very top. Yeah. That's the problem he's got.
I think that his best chance of, pushing and becoming a top manager again, or getting a top 4 team, would maybe be do pretty well with Forest and then go to a country where an outsider has a better chance of winning the league and make a real title charge in the Netherlands or Portugal.
He could go to Portugal, couldn't he? Yeah. I'm not au fait with the recent sort of Portuguese title wins. I know there's been certain big clubs that haven't won it for a little while, because it's always usually Benfica, Sporting and Porto, I think, are the main 3, aren't they? Who are in the mix there. But I think, I can't remember which one it is that hasn't won it for a while. And I don't want to get it wrong.
Well, Sporting hadn't won it for a while, and then I think they won it either last year or the year before.
Exactly. Yeah. Forgive me, I'm not well up on it. But you could go there and you could take over a club there and do well, maybe do some bits in Europe or whatever, come back. But who knows? He's a good manager, but like I say, he's just not. I think he's probably around a mid-table type manager. Yeah.
Just Ten Hag has been speaking about Rasmus Højlund's illness. He said he doesn't have the energy to start or be on the bench. You have to deal with it. I mean, we are dealing with it, obviously, but it makes sense. And if you're ill, you can't be running around at Premier League standard. Because if you think, they can battle through, but if they're like 20% off, you go from being a Premier League player to a Championship player, and you're essentially useless. Like the gap is so tight, isn't it?
Would you ever play Bruno up front? Because there's times under Holloway, he was basically almost a striker.
Yeah.
He was, man. Do you know when you used to sit the other way around? Was facing this way.
Yeah.
There was so many times when you looked at how he was set up, and he'd be like the tip of the spear.
Yeah.
Like, I know he wasn't the striker, it was Martial, but I just wonder, like, if let's say Marcus got injured, like, you've got to find someone to lead your line, would you give it Bruno?
Yeah, I think I probably would of the options we've got.
Yeah.
But I think the thing with Bruno that he always benefits from is he isn't someone that's particularly good with his back to a centre-back.
No, I agree with that.
I've never seen him, like, really sort of roll a centre-back, turn someone, beat someone in the air. He can score. He scored headers. He's not completely incompetent, but for a proper striker, holding off your centre-back and bringing other people in, I don't know how good he is at that. But I think if you can get him as close to the striker as possible, but facing their goal rather than facing his own goal, that's when you get the best out of Bruno. And I think we saw a little bit of that against Villa. There was a couple of times, and I watched the highlights back again, obviously saw the game live, and certain things you notice more in person, and you always say this and everyone knows this, but than you do on telly. And one of them was just Bruno's work rate and Bruno's just tenacity, and the fact that every time we won the ball back high, you go, who's that? Oh, it was Bruno. Yeah, Bruno won it. Or they're passing a rushed pass because Bruno's pressing them. Or the ball that gets played, fucking hell's a good ball. Who was that? Oh, it was Bruno. Like, almost every time something really good happened, it either started from or came from directly Bruno Fernandes.
Yeah.
And I think you get so much more out of him with Eriksen in behind him, because when he's, when it's McTominay, Mainu and Bruno, he knows two things. One is Scott McTominay cannot be a ball-playing deep-line midfielder.
Yeah.
He just doesn't have the passing ability. And also, the longer the game goes on, the further Scott McTominay pushes forward, because the only qualities he has is a last-minute header or arriving in the box to score a goal. So because of that, Bruno has to drop deep. And then that's where we see Bruno with his 60-yard passes that are going out, or he's rushing them, or he's, we're not playing properly. But when Eriksen's there, he trusts him to bring the ball out himself and pass it out. And Bruno can hold that position, like you said, as close to the striker as he possibly can be, while still facing their goal instead of having to face our goal. And I think that we'll get more and more out of him the more we see a good midfield base behind him. And again, everyone was talking about McTominay. Oh, why is he starting? Why is he starting? As soon as Eriksen's back, who's the one that gets dropped? Is it Mainu? No, it's Scott McTominay.
Yeah.
He's not an idiot, Ten Hag, is he?
No, do you know what?
You know what I mean?
This is the thing, and I think, like, listen, I don't want to keep going about McTominay, but it's worth talking about, because me and you sort of on the same page with this. Like, obviously, he got his 5 goals. He's got 5 Premier League goals. He's a good return for a midfielder. He got his brace against Brentford, turned the game around for us. goal against Sheffield United and a brace against Chelsea. The issue I had was we kind of came into this thing with somebody where it felt like we were almost building a team around him.
Yeah.
Like there was the manager making comments about, we've got to get McTominay on the ball, get him into the box. I'm paraphrasing here, but try and pick him out. It was like, like Lampard at Chelsea type scenario. Then you had this thing where you'd move sort of Bruno to a deeper role to accommodate McTominay, which didn't work for me. Bruno looked just all over the gaff. And then you had as well the fact that if he wasn't scoring McTominay, it doesn't offer you a lot. He's not involved a lot. He doesn't make loads of tackles. He doesn't create loads of chances. He's a player who's just sort of, he's busy in that, but not an effective way.
No.
And we had, I think it was 9 games he played in the Premier League on the spin, and he played 90 minutes in all those 9 games. And the Chelsea game he got a brace, which is fantastic, well done. But in the other 8 games, he did no goals, no assists, and very little else.
Yeah.
And it's like, if you're going to have a player who's in the team because of the goals he's getting you, and in 8 games he gives you nothing out of 9, there's an issue there.
I mean, just to sort of exaggerate that point, look at the year Ronaldo was United's top scorer.
Yeah.
He got 23 goals that season.
Yeah.
And I would still argue he was a net sort of almost loss compared to the season before. We scored less goals than the season before because his work rate, he doesn't really track back, and he's 37 years old or whatever he was when he was playing for United, and that's the type of player he is. But he was someone that was just there for goals, and he got 5-6 times more than McTominay's got, and I would argue it still wasn't enough because of what we lost by not playing someone with a bit more industry and a bit more sort of link-up play. Let alone Scott McTominay, who's getting 5 goals. That's certainly not enough to value, to have a starting place in the team if you're doing nothing else. Like,
no, I do. And like this is,
enough.
I know people get like, it's on his case, whatever. We were in a scenario where our midfield wasn't good enough, and McTominay was starting every game in midfield. You have to look at that and go, why is that?
Yeah.
And even the point where you were leaving Kobbie Mainoo exposed on his own at times. You've got Bruno all over the gaff because you're moving everything around to accommodate this one player, and this one player isn't giving you enough to justify that. That was the issue we had. So it wasn't a case of, I don't even blame somebody for it, because if the manager's picking you, then what you're going to say, don't pick me.
No.
But I thought that Ten Hag had to get his head around this, because I thought this isn't working, and we're getting over in midfield because you've changed everything around to play this guy who, on his day can get you goals, but his day isn't that often.
Speaking of Erik Ten Hag, I'm going to ask you a question. Is this quote from Erik Ten Hag?
Yeah.
Or is it from the Greek philosopher Plato?
Okay, I love Plato, one of my favourites.
Life can be very simple. Football is very simple. But playing simple football, that's very difficult.
Okay, yeah. I think that's actually Aristotle.
It is Aristotle. You're right. No, that's Erik Ten Hag. What do you make of that quote?
I think that's lovely.
It's quite beautiful.
So life can be very simple.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Football is very simple.
Football is very simple.
But playing simple football. That's very difficult.
That's very difficult. That is superb.
It's delicious, that, isn't it?
I love it. I think he's nailed it there, and I think because of that, I'm confident we'll win the league.
It's just on that, because I've
winning the league?
Well, on confidence and United's potential. I've been sat next to you a lot over the last sort of 12 months, and I've
3 years, but go on.
Well, I'm only referencing what you've said in the last 12 months.
Okay.
I've been sat next to you a lot for the last 3 years. But in the last 12 months, while I've been sat next to you a lot, I've seen you oscillate between...
Oscillating wildly.
Such phrases as, I back the manager, but if the results keep staying like this, then at some point he's going to lose his job.
Yep.
2, and this quote was about 3 days ago, I think we can win the league here.
Yeah.
And sometimes those quotes will come within 2 or 3 weeks of each other.
Yeah.
What do you think of Ten Hag? We see stuff like that. We see what's going on the pitch. Yeah. I know you back him in terms of you think he should stay at United, but do you think he's really got enough about him to sort of come through this?
I do. My issue with Ten Hag isn't, someone just told us that quote was actually a famous Johan Cruyff quote.
Oh, right.
So Ten Hag still gets credit, though, for remembering it.
Yeah.
So if anything, he's better than Cruyff.
Yeah.
I think that Ten Hag will be successful. He's given the time. My question is, will he get the time if he keeps losing football matches?
Yeah.
Because I feel like with a new owner or part owner or whatever coming in, he might go, look, I'm not going to keep backing this manager.
Yeah.
I can get away with changing him. I don't care what he did under the old regime, because I thought he did very well last season. Eric Ten Hag, he's got to go. But I think if you look at the managers that have had success, look at Sir Alex Ferguson. When he had success, he came in after having a very, very good record at Aberdeen. Alex Ferguson had a spell, I think it was in his second full season, where United didn't win for about 3 months. It was horrendous.
Yeah,
you look at it, it was November to February. There's no way on God's green earth that a manager in this modern era would survive that. Now, thankfully, we kept Sir Alex Ferguson. He did okay. So, I just feel like even Arteta or Klopp have had ropey ones, and then they've stuck with him. And I think you stick with Ten Hag, he'll be successful. And I just feel like there's enough positives about United now, where if everything lines up the way we want it to, you could have a title challenge. The issue I've got is...
I love that you think that.
The issue I've got is it's like it was under Ollie a little bit, where if you take one thing out, it's over. It's like Jenga, but you take the wrong thing out. Like Højlund having an illness today isn't the end of the world, but if you're missing Højlund for, say, a month, I think that'd be the end of that.
Yeah.
Genuinely.
Yeah.
Or if you're missing, even like someone like Manu or someone,
Yeah.
like he's become vile.
Yeah, he has.
Like he really has. Like he's only 18. If he's knackered or he's injured or whatever, that could be a problem. And I think the reason I've got giddy and excited is because I feel like if everything we want to lines up in the way we want to, it's a possibility.
Yeah.
But you've got to have all those things line up.
Yeah.
That's the issue, and it's very, very doubtful it will. And since I've said that, we go to the next game, and already the front three that I had so much confidence in is gone.
All three of them are playing in different positions or aren't playing at all.
And like big reason I got over, like proper excited after Villa was because of that front three. I was like, Højlund down the middle, Garnacho on the right, Marcus on the left is working. That looks mint.
Yeah.
And fast forward 4 days later, whatever it is, we'll forget that. That's over now.
Yeah.
Jesus wept. So it's going to be hard for us to do that. But if we were to have a sort of a Liverpool when they won it scenario where no one got injured, between now and the end of the season, I think we'd have half a chance. Yeah.
We've got 5 minutes till kick-off. Get your score predictions in the comments. Who's going to score and what will the scoreline be? We have got Abdul here with us. 5 minutes to go. You've seen the team. We saw the performance against Aston Villa. I don't know your thoughts on that performance, but I think a lot of people seem to think signs of improvements, some green shoots coming through. Yeah. What do you expect to see in this game, and do you feel a bit more optimistic because of what we saw on Boxing Day?
Yeah, I definitely feel optimistic. Obviously, it's just quite frustrating that Højlund's out. Like Jay mentions, like it's one of them things where you pull someone out of this team as soon as you get going. It's like it was under Ollie, and then it can all come down. We're seeing it was sort of like Marcus in the past when he had his run under Ollie, and it's like you're seeing it now with Højlund. Like just you think, he could get going today again, get his second goal, because it generally did feel like he was getting into good areas. He obviously wasn't getting the ball, but it just felt like he needed that first goal. He, honestly, just going off the Champions League goals, because had he sort of blanked in the Champions League and not done his thing, then you'd be like a bit concerned. But he seemed so confident putting them away in the Champions League. And I know in European football you get more space and stuff like that, but that's taken out of it. And for me as well, Garnacho probably had one of his best games as a Man United player on the right wing against Villa. We've been wanting to see that, a lot of us, for a while. For me, the dynamics of his football, like the way he plays, the way he runs with the ball, have always made more sense for me. He's very direct. But what I liked about that performance from him was he would come into the centre as well. And I thought actually we missed that combination play with him. As for Marcus Rashford, obviously, unfortunately, he's got to move to centre forward today. I know that he was carrying a bit of a knock from that Villa game, so he was actually a bit touch and go ahead of this game even starting, but which was interesting whether that Højlund thing had made a difference towards that. But yeah, we know how centre forward can be a graveyard shift. We've seen that with Højlund, with Marcus Rashford up front, and even Martial, to be fair, at times. So that's got to change today. I think in terms of looking at Forest, Nicolas Dominguez comes into the centre. He's someone that I watched a little bit of in Serie A, very high energy, like sort of the player that would play with his heart on his sleeve and bring that energy on the pitch. So that's someone to watch out for in terms of being integral to probably Forest's plan today. As for Anthony Elanga, I watched that last game against Newcastle for Forest. He's definitely going to be a threat today. I think what Forest have done very smartly is sort of used him and Gibbs-White in the areas that they're most dangerous in. I feel like when Man United, again, we did that with Garnacho Rashford last week, and you've got to see what happens with that. Sometimes it's very simple. It's like bring these players closer to goal. And sort of when you look at Nuno Santos since he's taken over at Forest over the last couple of games, you watch Forest's his games and it's like get them closer to Chris Wood. You've seen that reward with Chris Wood. I know Højlund gets the goal off the corner last week, but I think if Marcus Rashford and Garnacho had got going off him and got more of an understanding, then we would have seen more of them chances. But yeah, quite disappointed, like I said, with Højlund, but I'm confident that we can get a result here. It's not going to be an easy game. My only sort of worry is how Anthony does, because I think collectively as a fan base we're all worried with him. And
it's been
Ahmad,
poor,
could we see Ahmad today? I mean, we've seen it with Kobbie Mainoo, innit? Like, I feel like in this period it's almost a good chance to actually, a good opportunity to be bringing some players in, because it was like when Louis van Gaal sort of brought Marcus in, and obviously it's signed Anthony Martial, and when we first signed Anthony Martial, when we first linked to him, and we signed him within like a week or two of those links coming out, it was sort of out of nowhere. Like, we didn't really expect as fans for him to hit the ground running and have the time that he did. And sometimes with young players it's about just throwing them in there, because I remember at the time it was like Memphis Depay was meant to be that guy. He was the big name signing, and that was the hype.
So excited.
It's funny how these things work out, and hopefully Ahmad is one of them, where it's like with Kobbie now, it's almost a good opportunity to bring these players in because the expectations aren't very high. I think a lot of fans just want to see some sort of cohesion, some sort of good football, some rhythm. So I would love to see Ahmad at some point in this game, because I love the bits I've seen from his loan spell at Sunderland. I think what he did come into the centre of the pitch, he's almost occupying them number 8 zones at times where like he can switch play. And I think Anthony, as good as the left foot he has, he's not been smart enough to come in on the inside of the pitch and make that stuff happen.
Right passes and stuff.
It's like almost like you being an inside winger, like sort of taking that number 10 zone and pushing someone like Bruno into the area as well. And I feel like Ahmad's really good at that. Like a good example of that type of player, probably if you've watched him over the last year or so, is Antoine Griezmann. Like, I think his role for France in the World Cup is a very sort of similar role. So that's where I'd play Ahmad if he comes on. But yeah, it should be a tough game. It's always going to be tough, I think, at Forest away, but especially with the manager change, it'll make an impact.
What's your score predictions before we kick off, Abdullah?
I feel like, I stopped doing the 3-1 thing because I felt that was just bad luck.
You hit the post last week.
So, to be fair, I'm going to... Well, I wasn't here though, innit?
Oh, right, okay, had you been here?
Had I been here.
You still wouldn't.
But I changed it the week before, didn't I? I feel like the last
When's the last time we had a 3-1?
Shit.
When was actually the last time I had a 3-1?
Was it under Fergie?
Wow.
I'll tell you. You tell us your prediction. I'll find
my prediction. I'm going to go... I think it's going to be a difficult game.
Yeah.
I'm going to go 2-1 Manchester United.
2-1?
Yeah.
I'll go 3-1 then. 3-1 United.
You know what?
Absolutely done you there.
I'll go 3-1 United, yeah.
Kobbie's scoring his first goal today.
Kobbie scored his first goal, right, okay. Right, sound.
This is... I can tell you what, we haven't won 3-1 this season. I'm still going back.
I can't...
We barely scored 3 goals.
Yeah.
I
think we only scored 3 goals twice this season, or 3 times.
The last time we won 3-1
was in Europe we did it loads.
The 19th of March against Fulham in the FA Cup quarter-final. Just want to read a few comments to you, Abdul. Loads of people commenting on how good you look.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, here we go. Young Abdul with a fresh cut. Someone saying, bloody hell, Abdul. Bravo on the weight loss. That was Zelig. Some very nice comments. Everyone's saying how good you look.
How many
haircut.
burner accounts have you got, son?
Abdul been working out or what? Holy crap. Like, people honestly being right nice. So, well done. A lot of score predictions. Joshua Bowater says 1-1, I think.
Can we have some sound, please, guys?
Yes.
I want to see if we can hear.
Loads of score predictions.
Sorry to interrupt you. Abdullah, thanks for coming. I'm going to be hearing from Abdullah and Andy Tate at half time, yeah? So make sure you're hitting that like button as well if you've not done so already. The game just about to kick off.
Cheers, Abdul.
Forest having a little powwow in the middle of the pitch there, or middle of their half, I should say.
Casual Racer says 4-1 United. Ben Griffith says 2-1. Racer, not Racer.
Oh, right. I thought he's a casual racist.
No, look, Racer.
Right, well, that's quite a clever name.
B3 Beats says 2-1 Rashi and Diallo. Bloody hell.
Amad Diallo.
Yeah. Patrek.
Yeah, works for me.
Says Ericsson is not good. McTominay on.
No, I think Ericsson is underrated.
Yeah,
I really do. I think he's class.
We've kicked off. We've absolutely kicked off. It's kicking off.
Kicking off big time.
I'm going to go 2-0 United.
2-0, 2-1, and I've gone 3-1.
Yeah. You wish.
United are pressing here.
Oh, nice little chippy.
Oh,
Montiel. I remember he used to play. Where was it? Was it Sevilla?
I can't remember.
Montiel. I think he's.
You and Abdul will know that one.
Was he Argentinian? Montiel. Yeah. It was Sevilla. Yeah, I thought it was. Because I think he played. He's on loan from Sevilla.
Forrester in here.
No, it's good. Well tracked across from Varane. Never quite had the shot, did he?
No. Don't foul him.
Oh, good block that, because that was a decent strike.
Is that Manu with a block?
I'm not sure. I think it was. Gibbs White looking dangerous. Elanga with a good cross.
Yeah, off his head there. Manu did well.
Yeah,
just nodded that out for the corner there, but Forrest giving United an early scare.
Yeah,
only 1 minute in as well.
Uncomfortable start for United. Getting the ball in the United's box twice already. And they're really, really crowding Onana in. There's probably 15 players or so in United's 6-yard box, and I'd say 10 around Onana in particular. They're just going to put a big lofted ball right into the middle of that Packany Morgan Gibbs White.
Yeah.
Coming in now, he's gone short. And back to him, and there comes the ball to the back post, and it's too long.
Yeah, that'll
waste
do.
that really, wasn't it?
Yeah, a bit weird that. But we'll take it.
Yeah. Was he a player? Nuno.
Was he a goalkeeper, Nuno?
I'm not sure. Was he? Yeah. Who for? Was he any good? I don't remember him. He played for, I mean, the bulk. He didn't play a lot of games actually. He played around 200 league games, so not that it's not many, but you know what I mean. It wasn't a.
Any caps or anything?
No, played for Portugal B. So he was a good player, under 21s, under 23s for Portugal, but never quite made it to that.
Not top level.
No, like 6 league games or 12 league games for Porto and bits and bobs. Yeah. Decent player, but not a top player. It's a good ball, though. On your touch, not bad.
Other than Guardiola, there's not many top players who are... Arteta was decent, wasn't he? But there's not that many.
Yeah.
Like... Klopp wasn't elite, was he? Was he like German second division or something?
Yeah, I suppose the best 2 examples would be Cruyff and Zidane.
Yeah, they're the 2
Cruyff
absolute legends on the pitch and did very well off it as well.
Ancelotti, another one.
Yeah,
he won it as a player, didn't he?
But if you look at when you look at the Premier League, for example.
Yeah, very few.
Yeah, and all the best sort of players have tended, at least in the Premier League, have not really done that well, have they?
Henry,
Gerrard. Lampard
Rooney.
has been a disaster.
Yeah.
Several different clubs.
Phil
Some
Neville.
of them twice. Phil Neville. Even Keane flattered to deceive a bit, didn't he?
Yeah.
Even Robson.
Keane's had more success than most. Though.
Yeah.
You actually look at what he did at
Garnacho
Sunderland.
in the box here. Oh, I think he just took an extra touch there. He didn't need to take.
I think he expected a corner there, Garnacho. Yeah, it's obviously hard, isn't it? I think the better you are as a player, sometimes it can be. That's just a corner, innit? They didn't give it. I think Bobby Charlton said it once about talking about how we played and just said, not to be big-headed, but it was easy for me.
Yeah.
And I think sometimes when it is so easy and so instinctive, it's hard to coach it.
Yeah.
Because you go right, so you get it and you ping it over there, and I can't do that. I can only do that, 5 times out of 10.
Yeah.
And
Getting frustrated because the
Yeah.
players aren't being able to carry out your instructions because they're mere mortals.
Yeah, exactly.
And not one of the greatest players who's ever played football.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I do think that sometimes that can be.
Because he was at Preston, wasn't he, Bobby Charlton?
Yeah.
Preston North End. So yeah. No, I get that. Even Fergie was a good player, wasn't he? But he wasn't an amazing. I think he was at Rangers for a little while as a player, as a striker. But I think he only had one in Scotland cap or something like that. I don't think he was a Scottish international, like a regular one.
No.
Or was it any Scottish caps?
4, I believe. Yeah.
Right. Sorry. So 4. So that's what I mean.
4 caps, 3 goals. Not bad though.
It was a fantastic record.
Yeah.
but not a Dennis Law type Scottish legend as a player. Obviously, as a manager, he is. Oh dear, United under that was Wan-Bissaka there, failing to clear.
Too easy that.
Forrester on it, you got to be careful. Delow's in danger now, being overrun, but it's alright. Got men back.
It's like this strange shape so far, isn't it?
Yeah.
Bruno is playing very, very far forward, like we were saying. Rashford definitely the number 9, but then we've seen Eriksen pushing up high on the left-hand side. Who's that? Anthony.
Forest players just whacks it against his teammates' back.
Yeah, win that. That's too easy, that. That was very poor press from United.
No,
there.
it was awful. Forest counter-attacking here.
Simple stuff, that. One ball inside, Wan-Bissaka got dragged off his man, leaving the man behind him, and he just chipped it over to that man, and they were out.
Chris Wood from a shot inside the box that went well over. But yeah, it was very easy there. Yeah. Forest counter-attack.
Look at that, Chris Wood. Never felt better, has he? No. Do you know what I mean? Absolutely loving it. You look a bit like Chris Wood.
Do you reckon?
Yeah.
I get that all the time.
Yeah. I think people, you know what I mean, don't you? Would say.
As I'm walking down the street.
No, it's not me. It's not. I'm not.
No,
I
know.
Him.
No, it's not. No, I'm not that guy. I got mistaken for Wes Brown in Dublin.
Yeah.
Some kid come up to me at the airport and was like, because we were on the same flight as Wes Brown. We got into Dublin airport and there's some fans waiting for him with the shirts to be signed. And some kid come over to me and went, "Wes, can you sign my shirt?" And I'd say, "That's Wes." And then his dad come over and went, "He's fucking useless."
The kid was about 6 though.
I know, his dad had obviously told him, like, that's Wes Brown, but he'd not seen who he's pointing at.
He's fucking useless. Mate, you've sent your kid to get a signature that clearly the dad wants. Yeah. Because he don't know who he even is.
No, like, Wes Brown retired blatantly before this kid was ever born.
Yeah, that's how you know that.
Certainly didn't play for United when he was born.
When you see those signs of, like, Garnacho, can I have your shirt? Most of the time, the mum and dad are selling that shirt, aren't they? Let's be honest.
I had a stinker with that as well, because my pal, he said his lad, he said Marcus threw his shirt to his lad. Yeah. And someone took it off him. Took it off his lad at Old Trafford. So I know someone who knows Marcus Rashford, so I messaged him and told him. He's like, yeah, I'll sort that out, I'll have a word. And then the lad messaged back, he went, is your lad's son called such and such a name? Because that's who he threw it to. And I was like, no. So he'd not thrown it to him. He'd thrown it to this other kid. But my lad's mate got it, and the other kid had took it.
So actually, the story was almost your mate's son
almost nicked it off the other kid. Yeah,
I love that.
So I was like, for fuck's sake.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
I thought you were going to say he was going to sign it with that name on.
No, because I think he knew someone. He said he was throwing it to this kid he knows called this name. Is that who your mate's son is? Yeah. And I went, no, it's not. So it's like, right, okay, forget it. But no, I could never be bothered with that. I mean, to be fair, my mate's son didn't have a sign. He just went down there to try and get a shirt and got through to him. Yeah.
And I'm sure some of them are, but you know for a fact half of them are just use the kid as a likeable face for getting free stuff, innit? Come on, of course it is. Anytime you think it's possible, it's doable. Someone's doing it, aren't they?
Yeah, well.
Forest. Just passing it around nicely.
Yeah, they are, to be fair.
Oh, I thought he'd misplaced that. He's misplaced that one though, surely. No, he hasn't.
I hope they're in there.
Fucking good at passing now, Forest. Corner to Forest.
Is that Diallo with a block?
Yeah.
Forest, look on this, man. We've got to be careful here. You expect it when you go away from home anyway, but...
Yeah.
Just got to be careful.
He looks so much like a lad I went to uni with.
Do you reckon it is him?
Do you think he did?
Does he play for Forest now?
I don't know.
What did he do at uni? What was his course?
He was on the course when I did media design.
Right, so he could have been a footballer as well, because that's not a proper course, is it? Let's have it right.
Wait. Yeah, it looks just like him.
So you're saying the guy who went to uni with scored the World Cup winning final penalty?
I'm not saying he scored the World Cup winning final penalty. I'm saying he looked like he could have done. He looked, honestly, spitting image, but he was very good at programming. Unbelievable. I couldn't do it and he was
it's a deep corner that.
Right, now we'll go.
Go on. Oh, we can't get out of our... No, right, they've just overrated it again. It's a goal kick to Manchester United.
Good, well, unfortunately, good energy and well,
this is kind of what I expect, though.
From Forest.
You expect them to come out as, they're at home. They're obviously buoyed by that recent win over Newcastle. And let's face facts, United haven't actually been flying this season. It's not like, oh my God, United are coming, what we're going to do? You'd fancy your chances against us this season, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
And plus the way that the game went at Old Trafford, where they were 2-0 up after 5 minutes, probably still fuming about that.
Yeah.
That was horrible, that game, by the way.
Yeah.
And that's my only win I've seen at Old Trafford this season.
Is it?
Yeah. But was it Worrell, there, lad, who got sent off for him?
I don't remember. That rings a bell, actually, yes, but I'm not 100%.
And basically, I think the fact they're coming down the wing here now. Elanga
with a decent cross.
And Varane nearly scored an own goal there. My God, I thought I was going to drop in. Ball came in from Elanga.
Come back.
And Varane stuck his leg out. The keeper was in no man's land, and it just sailed across the box.
Well done, Varane. Sorry.
Yeah.
He almost gave it away there.
Just keep hold of the ball for a minute.
Yeah. We get to this point, though, don't we, where we have it at the back here.
Yeah.
And then taking it from here to our midfield has been the issue this season.
Yeah.
We're usually better when Eriksen's playing. But so often we get here and then just have to boot it long because there's no one around.
Wasn't a great ball, man.
No.
Bit short. Give me a little bit short there. Got to put a bit more pace on it, Sunshine. But yeah, that Forest game at Old Trafford was horrible because they were down to 10 men Forest. I think they added 11 minutes on and we were hanging on.
Yeah, we were.
It was horrible. That was when we had that protest afterwards as well. We all stayed behind.
Oh yeah. Good pass. Really took his time with that there, Anthony, didn't he?
Yeah.
Good ball. Oh, well done, Bruno.
Whip that in.
Oh,
Garnacho there. Bruno crosses it in. Garnacho just needed something on it.
Yeah.
Still, Marcus has got it down the left-hand side now.
Really good ball there from Bruno. Out wide. Okay.
Is that a goal kick?
Yeah. Bit of the better though there from United. Slightly lucky to break through to Bruno, wasn't it? But
let's have a look at this here. Well, they're showing us the Varane nearly own goal. And he just sticks his leg out, hits his thigh, and goes across the goal. Yeah, Onana tries to save it, misses. I mean, he could have dropped him, but in the end, it's not that close.
No. Well done, Aaron. I don't know where he thought he was putting that. Chris Wood just headed it 30 yards from his nearest player, nearest teammate.
In a weird, like Varane was out for a while, and then it was like, oh, he's gonna go, and there's everything like all this intrigue, and it's like he was done at United, and now he's just back in the team. It's like, yeah, everything's alright.
Yeah, he's really good again. Nice. Lovely from Varane there. It's a foul, ref.
What to say?
Rashford's hair, thoughts?
No.
Yep.
Not for me.
So it's a sort of a kind of...
It is a little bit like the Wes Brown look, but Wes is natural, innit? Naturally ginger.
And also, because it is dyed, it's got a different look to it. It's almost like, I can imagine Tony Robinson pulling out some sort of scuffed bronze artefact with that colour. Do you know what I mean? It's got a slight green to it. Maybe this copper that's sort of weathered.
Weathered copper look.
Oxidised copper.
Oxidised copper look. Yeah, it's just... For me,
it's not
and listen, I'm a modern man, I get it. It looks slightly feminine.
Does it?
Yeah, I think so.
I'm not getting that, but
I'm
I
not
like it.
Who am I to criticise anyone's hair? I've not got any.
That's true. Maybe you're the perfect person to criticise it.
I'm not feeling it, Marcus. I ain't gonna lie to you, lad.
I think it's like a bald person criticising people's hair is like having your goalkeeper as your captain. They can see the whole pitch.
Right, okay.
Do you know what I mean? Like,
nice.
You're not bringing any ego or sort of, your own whatever to it. You can see everything for what it is.
I think
you're the perfect person.
Right, okay. just won't fall for
Well
us.
done. That's a foul, ref. Well done, Maino.
Got the opportunity to get
it's
the ball in the
bitty
box.
and-
Just get it in the box and stop messing about.
Yeah.
There was twice there Bruno could have just crossed it and he didn't.
It's not. I agree. He should have done, by the way.
Yeah.
But it's not the most enticing.
It's a bit, I get your point.
Set of
but
players
there
in the box to
yeah,
cross to,
Garnacho
is
and Rashford.
Yeah. Although Rashford's got a couple of headed goals
Yeah,
last
I just
season.
feel like you've got the opportunity there and stop trying to force it.
Yeah, there's so many players in
Like,
and
you're
around
literally
the
like,
edge of the
let's
box
just
there.
carry on going down this corner when there's 9 players there.
Yeah, until we give the ball
That's
away.
what I mean.
Look at that.
Steve McLaren there. He seems to have aged about 20 years in about a month, Steve
Yeah.
McLaren.
Look at him. He's got a little Kindle on a stand.
I was
Like my
still
nan in
thinking of him as
Benidorm.
that young guy in '99, but he's not, is he?
No.
I think the England job just added years to him.
Yeah. It's the bad one, the England job, because it not only does it add years to your look, but it takes years off your life.
It does, doesn't it?
So it's a net.
Oh, Garnacho
sort of
never really had
30-year
hold of that.
difference. No, he didn't. Oh, it's a good touch from Wood.
It was so sad when it seeing Steve McLaren crying at the Sir Bobby tribute before
Yeah.
the game.
Yeah.
Do you know
it
what I
was.
mean? It just reminds you of what this club should be about.
Yeah. What is Steve McLaren's? Was he a player?
No, you know, like how he came to
United?
United.
No, I don't.
He was at Derby under Jim Smith. I think he was the assistant manager at Derby.
Yeah.
And in '99.
Shit. Elanga's. Sorry.
Sorry, no, go on. This is Elanga down there, left hand side. Got loads of space.
Move
He's
it.
over it.
Yeah, yeah.
To be fair, they've still got it live though on the right hand side. They're just trying to work now. They've gone back a little bit. They're about 40 yards out now.
Yeah. Sorry, go on.
Yeah, he was assistant at Derby. I can't remember who it was. I think it was one of the players in his book said like, remember when or even Fergie when they were playing Derby, all they could hear was him shouting to Steve McLaren.
Yeah.
He had this reputation as being one of the best young coaches in England. Derby were doing quite well at the time, and he was given a lot of credit for that because Jim Smith was very much an old school manager, and Steve McLaren was seen as this sort of up and coming modern coach who embraced new ideas and stuff. So when Brian Kidd left United, like suddenly in the middle of the 98-99 season to go to Blackburn, he offered the job at Blackburn. Steve McLaren was like on the short list of people, and they said, look, he's a new coach, young coach, could go well with Fergie. He was obviously a bit more old school, so they brought him in. And his first season, it was a bit of a disaster really. United just won the treble.
Mad, isn't it, that?
Yeah.
How much of a role do you think he plays? Obviously, we were already very good.
Yeah.
Do you think he made the difference? Do you think he made any
I think
difference?
you can't ignore that.
Yeah.
You're coming in, and I think he was there. He didn't come in like with a week to go. He came in with a few months left, and we won the treble. So you've got to give him some credit. And also, let's not forget, we won 3 in a row. Like during that spell, we won the next 2 titles
following
as well.
that, yeah.
So he did very well. And I think as a manager, he's probably not quite there, is he? I know
No.
he did okay at Middlesbrough.
He did very well at in
Was
the
it
Netherlands. FC 20, yeah.
where
He won the league with
title?
them, which is very
England.
good.
I think I've got a bit of a bit in my bonnet about his time at England though,
Why?
because 2008. Obviously, you look at the Champions League final. In every position by goalkeeper, you've got an English player, and a world class English player. You've got Wes at right back, you've got Ashley Cole at left back, you've got John Terry and Rio at centre back, you've got Lampard, Carrick, Hargreaves, Joe Cole, Rooney. Like, it is an elite 11 that you can form. Just that at that final. Scholes, sorry, I almost forgot him, probably the best player on the pitch.
Yeah.
Yeah, we didn't qualify for Euros. That's unforgivable to me. That.
Yeah.
To not be able to not qualify for to qualify, that's poor that from United. Delow's done well there. Oh, no, I said that and then he didn't give Eriksen much of a chance there.
Yeah.
Like that for me was
really
almost
poor,
it was just criminal.
Yeah.
Like, and then if you look at, everyone goes on about that Croatia game, Wally with a brolly. Never should have got to. You needed to win that game anyway.
No.
But just on that game, and I know this will sound crackers. Like, I think Hargreaves wasn't even in the team, which didn't make any sense to me because he was phenomenal that season, Owen Hargreaves.
Yeah.
And then you ended up with by the end of it, you had like 5 strikers just getting in each other's way as you're chasing the
Just
goal.
shitting himself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dropped David James, who I'm not a big fan of, but dropped him for Scott Carson just randomly, and Scott Carson makes the error for the first goal. It didn't make any sense, like why you put him in the team for this game. It was just proper stupid. And like, I honestly think England could have won those Euros. I know Spain were phenomenal, but look at the 11 we had. Look at the players we had. You had world-class players, genuinely, in every position.
Yeah, they were just shit the entire time throughout qualifying, weren't
they? He never got a tune out of him.
No,
he just couldn't. And it was just like, for me, it weren't good enough.
No.
I mean, I'm not that angry because it's only England, isn't it? But still, it would have been good to see someone like Wayne Rooney in that team. Good.
Just a little feint there from Kobe Mainoo.
Diallo
bought himself a bit of space and then played it up through Eriksen. Overlap. United just got the ball in Forest half for the first time in about 2 or 3 minutes there. It's been a lot of us struggling to get the ball out, but we've finally done it.
It's given away by Anthony. He's won that. He's won that fairly, though.
Yeah, well done. Come back. Put Garnacho in a bit of a pickle there. He didn't really need to go to Garnacho there, Rashford. I think he wanted to do something a bit surprising instead of giving it to Diallo or Anthony went to Rashford, but Garnacho. But Garnacho
Anthony
was surrounded. Well on, nice. That's good.
It's better. Get up, Marcus.
Win that. Oof. Bit better from United. Have we had a shot yet?
No. Not that I can remember.
No.
I think closest it came was Garnacho trying to cross it.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, just not turning spells into shots. That's a good ball, though. Boo's there, yeah. Come back.
Poor.
Keep doing this. Like, look at how many people are in that space on the right hand side there. There's like, 7 or 8 people, and we're trying to pass round them all over and over
did
again.
well there because he saw that and he tried to spread it a little bit because it's like you've got almost everyone in that bottom left corner for Forest, and we're trying to play out there, and it's difficult.
Yeah, it is difficult, and there's no obvious way we're trying to play out of it. It's like we're in it, we'll pass it around you a bit, but there's no runs off it, there's no sort of movement around it. I don't see what the plan is to go from being in this little cluster to us having space somewhere else.
What's the comment saying?
T-Man4 says, Jay and Joe, love you guys. Bit of a random question. Are you friends beyond the camera?
I love that. No, we're not. We hate each other. Like,
not.
Genuinely. We're like a modern day Martin and Lewis.
What, money saving expert?
Yeah.
Martin Lewis in that. That's a good ball. Yes, we are friends. We don't do a lot of stuff outside of work.
No, we don't do it, Joseph.
We do see each other.
To come to Eccles.
No, that's not true. But we have done in the past, and we do see each other 8 hours a day.
We spend more time together. I think I spend more time with you than with my own family.
But we do get on very well off camera as well.
We have a great laugh.
Yeah.
That's why when we did that show in Dublin, it was good, man, because it's just us lots on stage having a laugh.
Yeah,
and then you'll throw in Webby, who's hilarious, and then bring out one of the best defenders I've ever seen in my life in West Brom.
It's mad, isn't it? Because I see you more than I've ever seen any of my mates ever. Because you don't spend 8 hours a day with anyone, do you? So
we went for a Christmas scran, me and my pals, like who've grown up with and known for like 40 years.
Yeah.
And it's the first time we all sat like together for about 8 months.
Yeah.
Nah, probably longer. Like, it's mad.
Yeah.
But yeah, we get on.
Yeah, we do.
We just hate Abdullah.
Yeah, that's the truth.
Right, that's why he's not on here. He's sat over there in the corner because we can't stand that lad.
David Taylor says, the media in this country towards Ten Hag, compared to Eddie Howe, says it all. So compared to other managers, United have double the criticism.
To be fair, right, there's a truth in that, but I also think we have to put some perspective in it. Like, Newcastle just aren't the same size as Manchester United in terms of the stature of the club, the expectation, the attention you're going to get. It's always going to be different because Manchester United are one of the biggest clubs in the world, the biggest club in England, even though we've had a horrible 10 years.
And Newcastle
one of the most successful clubs ever.
Yeah, they're one of the bigger clubs.
They're a big club, Newcastle, but it's not the same as United, is it? They're one of the big, They're up there with the Middlesbroughs and the Sunderlands and the Gatesheads, but they're not.
North Shields. You know what I mean? Your Durhams, etc. We've got another super chat. Fergal McClement says, do you think with all the boys coming back in January,
All the boys.
we could finish top 4 and an FA Cup? Would this be seen as progress given the injuries? I think we could do that.
Yeah.
I think winning the FA Cup is very hard though, especially if, once teams, we've seen over the last few years, one of Liverpool or City have been going for some sort of treble or something.
That was a foul there. I think Johnny
Quite
Evans is
regularly.
moaning for a foul. Sorry. He had to concede a corner there, Evans. I think he's annoyed that... Sorry, just see this again. Because he calls for something here. Yeah, he thinks there's a foul on Diallo there, Evans. And he does well because he tries to clear it and I think he comes off Elanga and then he tracks back to make the challenge for the corner.
Yeah. It's a
but-
corner to Forest.
The difficulty there was, as he was appealing, Elanga got hold of the ball.
Yeah. If we finished top 4 and won the FA Cup, would it be seen as progress? I don't know if
Do you know what the good thing about
progress.
winning the FA Cup would be?
What?
You're stopping someone doing a double or a treble, aren't you?
Yeah.
I know that sounds proper too, Bob. But you're not seeing, God forbid, them knobheads down the road doing a double treble.
Yeah. Oh, crikey. He certainly hit it, didn't he?
Well done, Christian Eriksen. Is that a throw? That's a throw in that.
It is. Chris Eriksen there doing well. Danilo.
Let's have a look at this.
Oh.
Come off. Was it Aaron Wan-Bissaka's thigh and
Yeah,
then his
so
chest?
inside of his knee / thigh area, wasn't it?
I think winning the FA Cup would be phenomenal.
Yeah, it would.
Our record in the FA Cup has proper gone to the dogs.
Yeah. What is it? We've won 2 in 20 years or something.
Yeah, when I was a kid, we won it every 5 years almost.
Yeah.
I think we won it in 83, 85, 90, 94, 96, 99, 2004.
Yeah. And then that's it.
And then 2016 was the next one. And then during that time as well, I've seen us lose so many finals.
Yeah.
Lost to Chelsea in 07, didn't we? Lost to Chelsea again in 18.
Yeah.
Lost to City this year.
Yeah.
It's been horrible.
And Arsenal have won 4 or 5 in
We
that
lost to
time as
Arsenal
well,
in
haven't
2005. I forgot about that one.
they? That quartet there.
I like Tom Ian. When we went to Carrington, he was proper friendly and that to look at the kids. We went down there, took my lad. He got an opportunity with a load of other United youngsters, season ticket holders and that, and just young fans to go meet Garnacho and Palestra for this press conference. And bumped into Tom Eaton in the corridor, and he was he probably went out of his way, to be friendly to them all and chat to them.
Yeah.
Which is what you want to see, and it's good.
It is what you want to see. It was a 4 of Tom Heaton,
John
Dave
Murtaugh.
Brailsford, John Murtaugh and Sir Alex Ferguson. Brailsford straight in with the seat next to Fergie. He's done well there, hasn't he?
I think that was part of the deal for Ineos.
Yeah.
That
I
was
want to see next to Fergie.
I want to see it on the board. Well, the board if you want, but more importantly, next to Fergie.
Yeah.
In the ground.
Please. And that's away grounds as well.
Yeah.
Sorry, just before you wrap
otherwise
that
you can forget the 1.25 billion or whatever it is.
Yeah. I'd be so scared. First few minutes next to Fergie would be so good. And then Kickoff would go and you'd be like, "Ow, you alright? I'll chat after." I just wouldn't dare fucking say it for the whole 9 minutes. I'd be so nervous.
Yeah.
You'd be like, "Shut up, will you?" I'm like, I couldn't live with that.
Imagine that. Imagine he said something and you annoyed him.
Oh. Just so awkward.
There was when we interviewed Fergie, it was me and my pal, and we split the interview, right? Because we had 5 minutes. So he said, "Right, you do the second half, and you dad do the first half." So we, United are in here, and Fergie was on the red carpet, and pal was working for news. So he had more news stories. He wanted to ask him about his brain hemorrhage and if he was okay, if he fully recovered. And we'd been told we could ask him that, so it wasn't like he was just going, I'll just be weird and
for no reason.
Tell us about. And it was just, and he worded it in a nice ways, like, "Great to see you. How are you feeling?" Been a lot of concern that after the brain hemorrhage, you made a full recovery, sort of thing. And there was a split second where Fergie looked annoyed, his face dropped, and I remember my foot was in my mouth, thinking, "Oh my god!" My heart was in my mouth, thinking, "Oh my god!" But he wasn't. He didn't hear what he said because it was COVID distancing, so we were a little bit away. And he said, "The brain hemorrhage," and he said, "Yeah," and he said he just spoke about it "Oh yeah, I'm great." That split second, I was ready.
I'd have run home.
Yeah, because I hadn't even done my bit yet, and I wouldn't have bothered.
No,
I would have
just
said,
Forrest
"Forget
Gump,
that."
just fucking.
Yeah, I'd have just said, "Right, Tom, you're on your own, son. You've balls this up. I'm off."
Yeah.
I'd have turned against him with Fergie, and I said, "As if you're asking him that."
Yeah, you
Bang out of order.
just smack your
Do
mate
you know
on
what
the
I mean?
face.
What is wrong with you? Are you stupid?
Pull his little mask down and cough on his face.
Yeah, sorry about that, Sir Alex.
Fuck off. Well done, Varane. Been a bit of a nothing game this one so far, hasn't it?
Yeah.
No real chances either way.
No,
No one
like,
really
long
controlling
distance
the
shots and from them, and us obsessed with that bottom left corner.
Game. Yeah.
It does look like it's quite windy there as well.
Yeah.
Liverpool versus Newcastle on Monday.
Boring. 2-0 Liverpool.
Do you reckon?
Yeah.
It's just horrible, isn't it, in a minute, when you look at, like...
Liverpool going to win the league. Is that what's bothering you?
Yeah, possibly.
They are,
Or
aren't
City going to do 4 in a row. Liverpool going to catch us on 20 titles, or City going to do 4 in a row.
I
Those are
prefer City go 4 in a row of the two.
Yeah.
Because it don't count. No one counts it. No one believes it's true. It's not real. It's fake. They've cheated. Who cares? Whereas Liverpool, it's
It's
a
a
genuine
proper,
one.
it's an actual thing that happened.
Yeah. And also 4 in a row, yes, it's never been done, but it isn't actually a thing.
Yeah.
Whereas who has won the most Premier League titles in the history of English football, or the most first division, top division titles?
Yeah.
That is a thing.
Yeah, I hear that.
That's an actual, like, there's only one person who can hold that crown. Whereas most in a row is a sort of a sub-stat, isn't it, really?
Yeah.
And the cheating, it don't count.
No, I agree. All their achievements, it just doesn't really... Like when they won that World Club Cup or whatever the other week, it's like no one was really bothered. It just doesn't feel like real.
No.
It might feel more real like once they've had these charges dealt with, but at the minute as well, you just feel like everything's waiting for that to see if they go, right, well, everything you've done has just been tainted.
Yeah. And it has anyway, just reputation-wise, hasn't it?
Yeah, 100%.
This is the second... Oh, well done, Diallo. Right, go on. Wan-Bissaka's got a chance for a shot here, and it's tame and blocked.
It got blocked. He needed to be quicker there, Wan-Bissaka. He set himself, and then the lad came back and blocked it before he got his shot off. So his shot was blocked.
Good pass there for Bruno.
I mean, get a little bit lucky here, but Diallo does well. Yeah, he's got to be quicker there.
He's forced a bit of a rush pass there. It's a good touch, though, from there.
Oh, he's got away with that one.
Oh, hang on a sec. He stepped over that, has he?
I have to see that again.
Yeah.
Looked like Mainu went in.
Danilo saw him come in. No, not really.
No, I don't think there's anything in that. I think he caught him in the head.
No, it's Mainu fouls
There,
him.
I think he catches him in the head.
Yeah.
It's not a deliberate thing.
No, it don't look like it, does it? Foul by Mainu. Good foul to give away, though, actually.
Yeah.
Paul Maddison, who's been a member for 37 months, he says, do you think Forest is still a bigger club than Newcastle? Bigger accolades for sure. Them and Aston Villa seem at least the same size or bigger.
In terms of trophies and achievements, yeah, Forest were back-to-back European Cups.
Yeah.
And I know that the success was 40 years ago or whatever, but it's more recent than Newcastle's, I think.
Yeah.
But I think Newcastle's got far more fans than Forest.
Yeah.
But again, Forest and Notts County are right next to each other. If you've been to the City ground, it's literally...
Yeah.
Is it Trent ground?
Yeah.
Notts County. What is it? Where they play? Not Trent ground. Well, the River Trent, sorry, goes in between and the Trent ground. What am I on about?
It.
I can't remember the name of Notts County Stadium. Forgive me.
I'll have a look.
Have a look. But
I think I feel like I can remember
it's just across, it's 50 metres away.
Meadow Lane.
Meadow Lane, thank you. It's I think they're the two closest grounds together. So my point I'm getting to is they've got two big clubs in Nottingham because Notts County were one of the founder members of the league, weren't they?
Yeah.
It's that whole thing about the reason Juve wear black and white is because of Notts County, bizarrely.
Yeah. But yeah, in terms of success, Forest obviously.
Yeah, but then Newcastle are on their own in that in terms of they haven't got another club in Newcastle that's of any sizes.
I think Forest have been in Europe 3 times and won it twice.
That is ridiculous.
Yeah, that is absolutely insane. Isn't
They got into Europe the second time, not by winning the league again, but by winning the European Cup.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's just unheard of. So under Clough, they won 1 title and 2 European Cups.
Yeah. And the mad thing, obviously, you know this, but for anyone who doesn't know, they got promoted the year before they won the league. So they got promoted into the top flight, then won the league that year, then won the European Cup the year after, then won the European Cup again the year after that. What a 3-year spell that was.
4 years, they went from like mid-table in the second tier to retaining the European Cup.
Yeah.
Absolutely on an absolute shoestring as well.
Yeah.
Just seeing a stat there, Marcus Rashford's had the fewest touches of anyone on the pitch. I think he's had 10 touches. The nearest to him is Chris Wood with 13. And I'm not blaming him completely for that because he's not getting any service. He's not getting any of the ball.
Yeah, we're not holding the ball.
No.
At all in the centre of the pitch, are we? Big, long boot up field there by Mainu.
I do think you lose a lot as well without Højlund up front. Højlund just does all the ball up. He does. It's mad because even though he's not been scoring in the Premier League, everyone rates him. Everyone is like...
Goal kick there.
Everyone knows what a good job he's been doing.
So overall then, who do you think's a bigger club, Forest or Newcastle? Factoring
Bigger.
in everything you've said.
I'd probably go... I don't know.
Tough, innit?
It is. I'd probably go Newcastle just because of the size of the fan base.
Do you think?
They get 50,000 fans every week, don't they?
Yeah.
I think that's more than double what Forest usually get. I don't know now what the current situation is. But in terms of achievements, it's night and day.
Yeah, I think I would just say Forest squeeze it just because of the achievements.
Okay.
I think fans-wise, Newcastle bigger.
Yeah.
But I just think...
He's on his own now. Help him
European
out.
Cups,
it's not the
that
greatest
puts
decision.
you ahead of Newcastle.
That's fair enough.
Yeah, but it's close. Nicholas Walker says, I feel like the players think they've done enough to get the fans off their backs. Now they've gone back to their old habits, need to pick me up. I don't think that they look like they can't be arsed. I think this is just a difficult game, and we're not playing particularly well, but it doesn't look like a lazy, sloppy, you know, performance where that's good from Rashford. Brilliant from Rashford. I just can't get any space in the box, United, can they? But this isn't a lack of effort or even a lack of willingness thing for me. It's just a tricky game, this.
Yeah.
United aren't playing excellent, but it's not bad, I wouldn't say. T-Man4 says, you're both such wordsmiths. What grade did you both get in English in your final exams? There you go.
English, I got a B in English language.
Lovely.
Because I was in a play, so I got an A* for that. Which
Well,
bumped, in the module, which bumped my overall grade up to B.
English language. Oh, I'm in a play.
Yeah.
What play was it? It was a silent film. Cheating.
Brilliant.
Fucking Charlie Chaplin over here getting an A for English language. Yeah, instead of
I got a B overall. I just one of the modules got an A*, which bumped it up.
Yeah. I think I got a C.
It's my only B was in English language.
What was the rest? Worse or better?
Worse.
Was it?
I got 6 GCSE A to C's.
Lovely.
And 3 D's.
What, the glasses?
Yeah, which is like,
glasses,
so what?
Yeah.
But I told you one of my first jobs was work placement. I told you this, didn't I, when I was working at the newspaper, my local newspaper. Not my first job, sorry, when I worked to become a journalist. My first work placement was in my local paper. And it was when the GCSE results came out. So you had to input them into the paper. So you put like Joe Smith. And then
Everyone's local GCSE results were in the newspaper?
Yeah. Just
Embarrassing.
grade A
Diabolical
to
behaviour.
C. You just put how many grades you got A to C. It just say, so Joe Smith, grade A to C, 9 or whatever.
Yeah.
And like, there's like 4 high schools in our area. So I had to do like, I don't know, 1,000 of these or whatever.
Yeah.
Just loads of them. And I was bored, and I just started like making them up. But not in a bad way. I was giving people more than they had. So say you had like 3, I'd give you 7. You know, just like, because I thought they're not official. This is just the newspapers you can check. Do you know what I mean? Like after the results have all like come out. And plus, I had mates who only checked in the newspaper, and they're all like dossers who couldn't be bothered.
They didn't go and collect the results?
No, they just say, I'll just see it in the messenger, the local paper, and find out that way, because they just couldn't be asked. So I just started.
So do loads of your mates apply for like college and that, thinking they had 8
Probably.
GCSEs?
Well, it wasn't just my mates. I just did it to random. It's like if someone had 1 GCSE, I'd give them 5. Just like
that's fantastic. I bet that's back in the old days as well, where you probably could take that newspaper to a job and get a fucking job off the back of that.
Look, I'm in the messenger. The messenger look says I got 5. All right, yes, you can start today.
It's proof.
Yeah,
it's more than proof.
Just because I was bored, it was just like data processing. I thought this isn't getting me anywhere.
Speaking of bored,
yes,
hugely uneventful game so far. This, isn't it?
Go on. Oh,
that's a foul. What? You think Manu fouled him? No.
He's bought out.
He stepped
across. Mainu's
Mainu,
come into
yeah.
him and then he's fell on the ball and hold it like that's a free kick for me. Right, that's unacceptable.
What is?
That stat is everything that is wrong with Anthony. He scored in the City ground this game last season, and he's not scored in 29 appearances for United since.
Yeah.
Like, I'm sorry, I know I feel like I'm digging him out, but you cannot be an attacker for Manchester United and not score for 30 games.
And he's not really looked like scoring in many of them either, has he?
No. And, like, fair enough if you're absolutely smashing it with assists, but he isn't.
No. Shite.
That's the weakest push I've ever seen in my life.
You ever been to the Forest Stadium?
I have been to
City
the Forest
ground.
Stadium many years ago, but bizarrely it wasn't. I can't remember what it was. It was like. It wasn't the 8-1. It was. I don't know.
99.
Yeah, it was when I was a kid.
Was it?
Have you been there?
I went, but I went with my mate who was a Forest fan to
Right.
watch a Forest game.
Yeah.
It wasn't. It wasn't even a United
That's
game.
like me. I went to Blackpool, went to Bloomfield Road. I went to watch Blackpool game against Exeter.
Yeah. Yeah, my mate Adam Dobb, who's a Forest fan, and we went a couple of times. But
Yeah.
All I remember is he bought some minstrels from like the the concourse and that, and there's a steward who was stood like near us, and he was like, "Oh, do you want a minstrel?" And, "Oh yes." And then every 2 seconds, like, "One of the minstrels," and the steward ate like fucking 3/4 of this bag of minstrels, and we were about 11, so we didn't dare say out, and he just ate our entire minstrels. We were absolutely fuming. That's the only memory I have from that game. So annoying. He's like, "Oh, they're lovely then. Can I have more of their minstrels?" Fuck off, mate. Like £3.80 these. And those big hot dogs where it sort of burrows into a hole in the middle of the baguette.
Yeah.
You can't get ketchup down the length of it because it's just impossible. Alanga. Good tackle, Varane.
Done well around there. A couple of last ditch tackles.
Very, very boring game, this, isn't it?
It's not the best. What are the comments saying? Hit that like button as well, people. Let's get to 1,000 likes, please.
Yeah,
I know it's not the greatest game, but you can like the video.
Heaven Soul says another corner. They're putting on pressure and we're not plugging the gap. Slick Vic says, am I the only one starting to lose my shit with this team?
I don't know, man. The thing is, right, you used to see these games under Fergie all the time, like pretty drab, sort of, physical games that weren't really that entertaining, but United had a way with Fergie grinding out results.
Yeah.
So don't get me wrong, there's times when we just blow teams away or whatever, but there's also times when we win the league where, you'd go away to Charlton or whatever and win 1-0 in the 90th minute after a pretty boring game.
The thing is, we've just got to make sure that it is a win, haven't we?
Yeah.
That's the difference since Fergie, where these sorts of boring
Got to
games,
be careful here on that.
too often they go against us rather than us winning them. Corner to Forest, that's...
He did well there.
He's really
absolutely punched that almost to the
35
halfway
yards
line.
there, yeah. That's a good ball back in, though. Well done, Mainu there. Good defending that. Tracked his man really well. Bit of space now, lads. Come on.
That's poor, that.
Diallo just waits too long.
I know, he's
kicks
lucky
into
there.
their player's
He kicks
head.
it on he's got out for a throw-in, but that could have been horrible. I don't expect much added time here, by the way, because there hasn't been a lot
Nothing's
that's
happened, has it? How many shots have happened in this half?
I don't know.
One,
I can't think
two.
of it, yeah.
I can't think of any.
I think the only shots we've had have been blocked before they've got to the keeper.
Yeah. In terms of shots on target for either team, I think.
Jesus Christ,
hell,
Onana.
This guy's head's taken an absolute pasting.
Onana's just gone and
Good
kicked
touch.
it against Chris Wood's head. Thankfully, it fell to a United player.
J.E. Frasconi says, I like Anthony's positional play, but his total inability to get across him from the right-hand side is unacceptable for a professional right winger.
1 minute added time, by the way.
Why would Ten Hag bring him in knowing this limitation?
I think with the thing with Anthony and Ten Hag and all the rest of it is like, had he been a £35 million player, it probably would have made a bit of sense, because it's like a player he can, he's done well in the Dutch league, he's done a job for you, relatively cheap in today's modern sort of transfer market. Okay, but we left it that late and he'd lost the first 2 games, then it's like, well, we can get you Anthony, he's going to cost this. And if you're the manager and you're up against it, you think, yeah, we'll just get him. Do you know what I mean? You're not going to say, well, don't spend that on him. You're just going to say, yeah, get him. And I think that's what happened. And I think that's part of the problem, because if he was 35 million, you'd probably, I'd still be questioning the fact he's not scored in 30 games. But it's not as disastrous as someone who is 70, 80 million quid, one of our most expensive signings ever. Yeah. And he's done very little. And I think that's the problem you've got with Anthony. Thank God, there's 45 minutes of my life I'll never get back.
Yeah, first half has ended 0-0. Honestly, neither team looked like scoring at all, really, did they? Despite
not at all. It was just a pretty drab game. Not much flow to it. Not even like, I said physical before, but it wasn't like there was loads of fouls. There's a few rough challenges, but it was just a pretty boring 45 minutes where neither team really got a foothold in the game. Forest early doors got at us in the first few minutes. United then came into it a little bit more, struggling to create, getting crowded out a lot. Just a pretty poor game. So we're going to be aiming from Abdullah and Andy Tate in a minute. Yeah. What are the comments saying?
Yeah, I'll get into some of the comments. Joshua Bowat with a super chat says, Rashford to the left, Garnacho to the right, and McSauce up front for the second half. Need Anthony off before I end up as bald as Ten Hag. I would go back to what you said. I'd rather we push Bruno into a striker's position than McTominay. I
don't think there's right now where you go, right, do this, change this right now. Personally, I'd at least wait 20 minutes or 15 or whatever, just to see how the second half starts. But it's not one of those where you go, oh my God, we need to make a change right now. It's just been very sort of boring. Yeah. Just a boring game, to be honest with you. And yeah, it's a bit disappointing, but not the end of the world. I mean, it's 0-0. You got 45 minutes, and there's still every chance we can get a win here. What would you make of a draw? What does a draw leave you?
Just looking at the Premier League table, a draw, I think would leave Man United still 7th. Or maybe that might be as it stands. See, this is the problem with as it stands tables. I don't know if the thing I'm looking at now is how it was before kickoff or how it would be if it stayed as it is.
Go on to it.
I don't know. There you go.
Right. So what's it say here? 10.
This
wins,
is our 20th game, isn't
10
it?
10 wins. Yeah. And 2 draws. So that's 32 points in it.
Yeah.
Is that? And then there's 8 losses as well.
I think that would be if it stays as it is.
As it is, isn't it? Because otherwise,
we haven't played 20 games.
We've not played 21 games.
So
right. Should we hear from Andy and Abdullah? We believe they're good to go. Let Andy Tate and Abdullah here with us. Abdullah, before we get Andy's opinion on that first half, give us some stats.
Yeah, well, to be honest, mate, there's not much to look at in terms of
how many goals have there been?
Data. So that's the first thing you worry about, innit? The goals. 0-0. The main problem, I think, if we're going to look at the stats and where I'm going to highlight, our main issue for me this half is how trapped we are on that right-hand side. So you've got Anthony, for me, who's just, the ball goes out to him and he just corners, like he's just in that corner, like you feel so trapped. Too slow, exactly. He does that, like he's in and out. You don't know what you're going to get, rather than moving into the centre and, playing that quick football and trying to switch it to the other flank. I think our biggest other issue is, for me as well, is when you look to that left-hand side, Garnacho there completing 7 out of 10 passes. I feel there's no one close to him to play a combined pass with him, pass and goal, pass and move. I think he's been needing basically Rashford to come across to that left-hand side to combine with him. Diogo Dalot, not telepathic at all with Garnacho. Absolute struggle. But yeah, Varane, Wan-Bissaka, not too bad defensively. They made some decent interceptions and stuff like that. But overall, a dull half. To be fair, we did say it before the game, like Forest away is always going to be a difficult game. Yeah. Most teams, since they've come up, have struggled against them. I think even the season before, was it Chris Chris Wheeler, is it, that got sacked? I mean, before Nuno had even joined, they'd given some top teams some difficult games.
Forest,
yeah.
Cooper on it.
Cooper.
Yeah.
Sorry, Steve Cooper. So I'm. The thing is with their setup today, it was always going to be quite difficult. I think they're really compact. They're trying to make Manchester United go through the centre of the pitch, and that's always a struggle for Manchester United. But overall, there's nothing too much to look at in terms of the stats. I think it'd be nice to hear what Andy thinks in terms of changes, because personally, before I move on to Andy, I'd personally look at, it sounds a bit of a mad one, but someone said it in the comments, I'd actually potentially look at bringing on McTominay as the centre forward.
Yeah.
And I'd play Garnacho on the right wing and Marcus Rashford on the left, because Anthony is giving you absolutely nothing. The centre forward doesn't get played to anyways. If the centre forward is just a what do you call it? Everyone knows my stance on McTominay anyways. If the centre forward is literally just a mannequin, then you might as well have both your wingers in the better positions, because Garnacho and Rashford look threatening against Villa playing in those areas. So find a way to play someone else through the centre. Whoever it is, it needs to change at half time.
Yeah, I think he's quite toothless first half, and Anthony's lack that. I mean, Gary Neville said it on that little corner bit. It was like, cross, left, right. What do we do? How about cross the ball, lad? You know, it's not a thing. You know, you couldn't cross the road. Him at the moment. Honestly, I'm say he's really getting me eye right now. Yeah. Anthony, he's getting his chance, and other people are suffering for it, because like Rashford's in the middle, he's not a striker. Garnacho's on the left. Why didn't you actually switch flanks during the game? It's not rocket science to do it. So
done it last game, innit?
Done it last game.
It
you can give Garnacho switch flanks. It's not rocket science, and it's really disappointing. We've been lacklustre and toothless again. And it's say with the results going, let's say Villa winning as well, Arsenal and the rest of the gang play tomorrow. If we don't win this, it's going to be maybe even 10 points, 11 points from the Champions League. We win this, we're only 6 points off the Champions League.
Yeah.
Like you say, that's the priority. Win it. I don't care how we win it, but it's you got to give more, man. It's like a game of chess. Nobody wants to make a move.
Yeah. I think there's been one shot on target in the whole game so far, and it was United, but that's the only shot we've had.
Yeah, that was out of Wan-Bissaka, wasn't it?
If
that was another player, it might have been better.
A shot on target, really, was it? It was
the defender charged it down, but it really is disappointing.
I think, Manchester United, for me, the biggest issue they've had today, and I think a lot of the time, I think Manchester United fans pin too much of our problems down at Anthony in general, but today it genuinely has been a major problem for us in attack.
That's to say.
Is that every time we get the ball, doesn't move it quick enough. He takes it far wide, which makes it a much more difficult job. So
I've seen the training clips this week.
Yeah,
the difference between Ahmed and Anthony.
Well,
Jesus, cross.
That sums up how much quicker Ahmad deals with that situation. It's like bang bang. Back of the net, and then it's like
Anthony Ahmad available. I've not seen the subs. Is he available?
He is. This is what I'm saying.
Make a change.
One at a time.
Sorry, make a change. Hey.
This is how mad this guy's getting us. But yeah, Anthony, I think there you go.
86 million for that. Jesus, we were bent over.
Right. It's not just Anthony though, is it? I get your point. I've criticised Anthony almost since he arrived. What about Garnacho on the left hand side? Are you seeing anything from him? Is he giving you any joy?
He's not his favourite side, Jay. He's better on the right. He's seen it on Boxing Day against Villa. He was tearing them up, and it's just why not just swap, interact? Yeah. It's like I say, it's so easy to do, but they're told to do a strict stick to the plan, do this, do that. But sometimes as a footballer, Jay, you got to take. Do you know what? Let's do it ourselves. Sod what the manager thinks. Just try it for the few minutes. You might get a crossing. You might get a chance.
No, I hear you. We saw it a little bit where I think it was Anthony came over to the left, but we've not really seen it with Garnacho going over to the right. So I think we do want to see him mixing up. We do want to see him running at the defenders. And at the minute, we've just not seen anything. It has been a bit, like you said, Andy, I think you called it toothless, which I think was a good way to describe it. Mohammed Kareem says, congrats on 7-3-1. Thank you. Sammy El Dabba says, surely we put Bruno as a false 9 with Rashford on the left and Alejandro on the right. That would make sense. Cami Ochieng says Man United has to work has to work so that they will finish top 4. Yeah, we do. You're right. I don't know if you've read this out, this Casmofo one that says Anthony's woeful in this game. Every time he has the ball, it looks like he overthinks the process of being a footballer. I worry about Anthony, I do, because I think that Erik ten Hag may, it may be a decision to sign him.
His patience is running out.
It's going to cost him. Yeah, I hope so, because I hope his patience is running out.
When you back a player to the hill and he's still not delivering like he did with Sancho, then you've got to make a call. And this is for the benefit of the team. Sorry, son, you're on your way out.
I think, it's just so annoying that Højlund was ill. People mentioning Højlund. Højlund's not on the bench. Højlund's ill. That's the reason he's not in.
I don't believe
Andy
that.
Martial, you don't think?
I don't believe that. I don't believe it. I don't know what's going on. Because Martial's supposed to be ill as well, I've heard.
I think Martial's different. He's been ill for 3 weeks.
But
what do you think's going on with Højlund?
I don't know, mate. He say he wants to play. I'm really disappointed he's not in it tonight. You know what I mean? You can take stuff and make you play, can't you? Play through the pain barrier. And I love him.
He said I think if you go to Ten Hag's exact quote, I think he said he was ill and he wanted to play, but he can't. He's not great. And if he's not been training, like, let's say, I don't know what the nature of his illness is, but for me, Højlund looks like a player who gives his all.
Too much turkey butties.
And he wants to play, and if he's flu or whatever, and he's weak, I think he said that. He said he's not 100%. Then throwing him into this when he's weak, I think it's a bad look, personally. What do you reckon, Abdullah?
I mean,
maybe
in a way it's a learning curve. I don't know after what happened the other night with Marcus Rashford, because they subbed him on against Bournemouth at 3-0, which there was no point. And it was like, that weather was mad that day, wasn't it? So, and then he ended up, being ill for the next game.
You're a professional football, you got to play in rain.
No, I know that, but I'm saying he was ill that day and Man United played him and he missed the Bayern game. No one's disputing that.
Come on, you've played in rain, snow and sleet.
No, I'm not disputing that. I'm telling you, the matter of fact is, this is a player that has played injured and with injections many a time, and he missed the Bayern Munich game, and he would have wanted to play in that Bayern Munich game.
I think Rasmus Højlund...
So I don't know whether Man United said why we're doing this again, but...
I think Rasmus Højlund will want to play today.
Exactly.
100%. He's just scored his first Premier League goal. I don't think there's a cat and L's chance. He's said to the manager, I don't want to play.
There's definitely players that...
I agree on that, but sometimes...
So what are you saying? Sorry, I'm confused.
I'm just saying, just let the managers, just let him play. If you play through the pain barrier as a professional footballer. I've seen many a footballer play through the pain barrier over the years, where you're a striker, defender, midfielder, even a goalkeeper. Play through the pain barrier, whether you got a bug, whether you you say, you take injections or you take something for it, whatever, like vitamins and all that, adrenaline.
I think I'm sorry, Andy, I just think if he's ill, don't play him. Genuinely. I think if he's not well, don't play him. Let us know what you think in the comments. Andy says play through the pain barrier. Others saying no, if he's not well, don't play him. Let us know what you think. Defensively, what have you made of the performance defensively? Because neither team's had much of a chance. I think our XG was 0.04. Theirs weren't much better. Have you been impressed defensively? Is that something you can go, okay?
That's about it.
We've looked solid.
Both defences are played blinders because they've had nothing to do.
Yeah, true. There's been no real threat. I think obviously we had that Rafael Varane moment where he nearly puts it in the back of his own net, but
they had that chance in the first few minutes, didn't they? And it came up. Elanga headed it away. Colby headed it away. But that was about it.
Yeah, outside of that, there's not been a real threat from either team. I think Man United's main thing is that switch at half-time needs to happen. What?
Yeah, I say I bring on Ahmed. Definitely for Anthony, because you need...
Is it not a bit of a risk bringing on Ahmad playing his first game for United in 18 months? In what it could be a pretty big half. Is it not a bit of a risk?
I've seen enough in 10 seconds of a clip this week to know he can cross the ball.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'll take that. Lovely. FPL Mickle says, force Højlund to play and risk him getting worse. I think if he's ill, he's probably not going to get worse off the back of playing, but he might just be
I think you've upset a few people with this one, Andy, saying you should play Højlund. I've got a lot of people in the chat saying if he's ill, don't play him. If he's ill, he's not well. Let him have the day off if he's not well.
You don't know what hard work is, people. Jesus.
Just playing through it anyway. Juan Martinez has been a member. Right, if I can talk, I would say that Juan Martinez has been a member for 37 months, and he says, "Yes, let's force our only striker to play when he's ill. Then next week, Andy will be blaming Ten Hag, saying that he should have known better."
Oh, whatever. Jog on, you muppet.
There's a reasoned debate.
And thanks for being a member for 37 months.
Yeah, thanks, bro, for your support.
This is an opinion sport, and I respect yours. You respect mine.
I think that's fair enough. What are you thinking then, Jay? Second half. Sorry to interrupt you while you're having a big glog. What do you expect to see second half?
I don't feel that.
Sorry. Sorry about that filth that you had to see there.
You're almost as good at dribbling as Anthony.
Nice. Oh, very good, very clever. I think we'll win.
Do you?
Yeah.
How? What's going to change? What's going to be different? Why will we win when we struggle to even have a shot in the first half?
I think that whilst the game has been frustrating, as you know, we've not really got into it yet. I think if you look at the other night, we were much better in the second half. I think just not
a bit more pressing.
You just got to get Garnacho on the ball a little bit more. I think he's struggled a little bit. He's been crowded. Try and get him linking up with Marcus a bit more as well. I think at one point Marcus had the fewest touches, or I think he's had a few more since then. Get them linking up together. It could cause problems. Yeah. And I think if you look at the quality, like Forest are a good team. I'm looking at so there you go. There's a change already. McTominay's coming on. Forest have got some good players.
Oh come on!
They're not that great.
Oh for God's sake!
McTominay on for Kobe Mainoo. I guess the thinking there is you're not taking Bruno off, are you? And Eriksen's probably the most likely player to actually.
Why did a kid suffer? Why did a kid suffer?
Well, who would you have taken off?
I don't know, but not Kobe Mainoo. I agree with him.
Well, no one then.
No, right. Take
Anthony.
Anthony off,
McTominay up front or Bruno on the right?
I would, whoever it is, like I said this at half time, and I said, whether it's Scott, whoever it is, we are not playing to the centre forward anyways.
Yeah.
So we're not playing into the centre forward. What the reason he's brought Scott on is probably he's going to play Bruno and Eriksen deeper, and we're just going to be lumping balls into the box. And I don't want to be playing football
Help
like that.
us, Scotty, one. You're our
We'll
only
probably
hope.
win off like a Scott McTominay goal or something. But it's that desperation. Like I'm not against Scott coming on. I'm against the fact that
we need him.
We need him, and you could have used him in a different way.
Yeah,
anyway.
you sacrifice somebody to accommodate somebody who's not delivering anything first half.
Yeah. Right. Thanks, lads. We'll chat to you again at the end of the match. Second half, like I said, has kicked off. Scott McTominay on for Kobe Mainoo. Slightly controversial, that one.
Yeah, it's not a decision that's gone down well in here.
No.
And on online as well, everyone's annoyed at it, confused by it. It didn't look like he was injured. It does look like it was tactical.
Some people in the comments suggesting Mainoo may have some sort of concussion, but I don't know where that's come from.
No, he got hit in the head, didn't he?
Yeah, but I mean, I don't know where that suggestion has come from other than, he got hit.
Who's your holding midfielder now then, is it? Is it McTominay?
I think it'll be McTominay and Eriksen. Yeah, that's what we're seeing just sort of early on. They're the deepest two midfielders on the pitch at the moment, McTominay and Eriksen. Does he look a bit like me there, keeper?
Yeah.
He does a little bit,
massively.
Yeah, all right, don't say massively because he's not.
Do you know what I mean? It's uncanny.
He does look a bit like me though, doesn't he?
Yeah,
yeah,
definitely.
I thought
is it Matt Turner?
I don't fucking know his name.
Of course you do. You was Bezzy. You was doppelganger.
Brother. He's American as
well.
well.
There you go. See, the similarities are endless.
Yeah. Murillo. It's this time of year where you start in the commentators have blocked noses and stuff in it.
Yeah.
What a time. I'm really not a big fan of winter,
No, I hate winter.
So much shitter than every other season, isn't it?
It is. I hate the cold.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, that's
it's
like
dark,
everything shuts down.
Time.
Like we can't cope with the cold in this country.
No.
Like you say, it's dark all the time.
Heating bills.
That's poor, that.
Not to mention the heating bills, eh?
Yeah, Christmas and that. There's more expenditure.
Go on then. Oh! Sorry, for a second I thought Bruno was going to get on the end of that. Sorry, Jeff.
I thought that was one of the most bizarre decisions I've ever seen.
That was fucking stupid from Rashford.
I don't know what he was thinking.
Yeah.
He just stood still and then backheeled it.
Yeah,
basically to their keeper.
It was so shit. I thought it must be good. If you know what I mean, because I thought it can't be as bad as it looks, so it must be going to Bruno. It's all right. Weirdly though, looked quite dangerous there, United, didn't they, for a split sec?
Yeah.
Well done.
Go on, Anthony.
Well done, Anthony. There, he did really well there.
Yeah, he has.
I just want him to just start looking like an attacker.
I don't know what Marcus Rashford was doing here. Let's have another look at this.
You see, he knows Bruno's there. but he doesn't really know where, does he? Who's that even for?
I think it's for Eriksen. I think that's for Eriksen, and he's missed it. Because he's not looked at all over his shoulder for where Bruno is. He's just waiting for Eriksen to make his run. Had he done it the right way, it might have been a good, decent ball, but he didn't, so it wasn't.
No.
He just looked very, very strange.
Good. United found ourselves in an actually dangerous position there for the first time, pretty much all game though. Edge of the box with some runners off the striker. Yeah. That's a good spot. Ah. No way, get up, twat.
He knows it's not a foul because he's carried on. He's not even looking for it.
Just get it out. Oh, my God. Sensational by Johnny Evans.
He's done really well there. Go on, Marcus. Get up there!
Oh, no, you're misreading the fly. That's so
he does
badly.
it all the time. His judgment of the flight ball sometimes is terrible. He just stands there and watches it goes over his head.
Yeah. And the ball was only like 2 yards behind him by the time it landed. He could have easily adjusted if he'd have read the flight properly. Slightly more dangerous looking second half though already, isn't it, for both teams?
Yeah, definitely look up for it.
Yeah, they do. Need to see a bit of a reaction though, second half from United.
Oh God, he's just walking past you.
Our whole defence here. Well done, Scott. Fuck, almost not well done, but well done.
He did well there. Scott McTominay swept up there. To be fair, he's full of beans when he's come on, McTominay.
He's actually tracked and covered the space well there, McTominay, which is something that he's not done much of in recent weeks. It's never a penalty, is it? Never a penalty.
Even he knows it.
He doesn't really even appeal for it.
No, he does that little appeal, then realises he's not getting it and gets up straight away.
Yeah, he does.
Because VAR ain't giving you that one, lad. He needs to
People
stop putting people in trouble.
I know. People love putting Christian Eriksen in like horrendous situations off the ball. Oh, Bruno. Just enough to stop him there. Come on, we haven't won a second ball in the second half yet. Win that. Right, now what can we do? A bit of space here.
Help him out!
Come on, Scott. Fucking hell, make
Just
yourself
stand behind the
man.
Forest player, why don't you? And then he does that.
There's a point where Wan-Bissaka made a bit of space, and all Scott McTominay had to do was take a step to his left, and he could have just passed it to him down the line.
But he did.
And he stands behind the fucking Forest player. I honestly don't think it's a conscious thing. I just don't think he knows how to find space for himself. I don't think his instincts to receive a pass are horrendous.
He should have learnt that by now, though. He should have realised, because it's such a common criticism of him.
Yeah.
Like one of the main criticisms made of Scott McTominay is he doesn't show for the ball.
Yeah.
And it's so basic
that
as well.
there as well.
Like your player's there, your teammate with the ball, and he can't see you. There's a player in between you. Step over there and he can find you. And he didn't. He just stayed there and let Wan-Bissaka get himself out of trouble. Or
even go the other way so he can play it inside, but he just doesn't do anything. He just, it's poor that.
Ah! Oh my God.
Well done, Johnny Evans again. No, not quite.
Just hoofing it up. Asking for trouble playing like this.
Forest looking dangerous here. Not really turn it into shots. But
is there any news on that menu thing? Was it tactical?
I'm not sure. If you
look.
see anything, Alexi, will you let us know on menu? Yeah, Forest fans a lot louder there. Good tackle, McTominay. Now what? Oh, come on. Good pass from Eriksen. Garnacho.
Go on, Alejandro.
Running towards goal here.
No, he's not.
It's all right. Keep the ball.
Oh, he's just fell over. And then we give away a goal kick. Just awful.
Yeah. Diallo coming on. Early one. What we're
Seen
saying,
enough.
got to be Anthony. hasn't it?
Anthony.
Yeah. It is Anthony coming off for Diallo.
That says a lot, that. Doesn't it?
Go on.
53 minutes and the manager is limping. Looks like he's walking a bit gingerly. That might have been forced upon him because it's quite an early one for him to make that 53. Usually waits to 60, doesn't he? I know he's made one at half time, but
Yeah.
I mean like in game.
Yeah.
Mainly with tactical reasons,
There
which
you go.
went down very well amongst the Manchester United fan base, with basically everyone I've seen on social media criticising that decision. Anthony's his knee.
The thing with Mainu is, and I'm not saying he's made the right decision,
Yeah,
but Ten Hag loves the idea of a young lad coming through and being amazing as well,
yeah.
doesn't he? It's not like we're all like, we're really excited about Mainu, we think he's really good.
Yeah.
Ten Hag's not going, oh, fucking, I'm so annoyed that this lad's playing well.
Yeah.
He loves it as well. So if he, I don't think he's trying to take Mainu off to prove a point about Kobe.
No,
Mainu.
no.
I think it's just what he thinks is the best thing to do.
The issue, and I think, and I couldn't speak for myself, the reason I question it is I've always felt, or not always, but recently, I felt that perhaps Ten Hag has a little bit more faith in McTominay than I do,
Yeah.
personally. Now, I might be wrong and McTominay might pop up here and win us this game, but that's my concern.
Oh, good ball. That's not. Oh, it is. Oh, the post. Who's that? Diallo. Oh, first dangerous chance of the day for United. Now Wan-Bissaka's in the box as well, and it's a poor ball there. That was more like it from United. Go on then, Scott. Well done, lad. Keep it. Fucking hell.
You'll
Probably get booked for that. It's a shame. It's a good shot there from Diallo. I thought it was McTominay the way he sort of.
There you go. It would have made me eat my words if it was.
But it was Diallo's nice ball down the line. Brilliant pass from Bruno. Nutmegging their player. Wan-Bissaka back to the edge of the box.
Oh!
He doesn't do much wrong, does he?
No.
It's a lovely strike, actually.
Did he score against them last season?
Yes.
Diallo. When he did his 5 celebrations.
That's the
he
one.
did that, and all the rest of it.
Yeah.
And
was
that.
one. Yeah.
I love that.
Who got the assist for that goal, do you remember?
Zanna.
Correct.
Yeah, because was that the last assist he's ever got as well?
May well be. Yeah, he was good in that game, Anthony.
Right, that's not a foul.
That is, though. That's a foul. Oh! Fucking hell, ref! Book the bastard! That's a red card. Sure, yeah, good. That second one on Evans is absolutely unnecessary, that. Isn't it?
Yeah.
The whistle's gone and you're diving in on him there because you're pissed off because he's given the foul for the first one. He's lucky there.
I'll be honest, I think it's a yellow.
Yeah, I was going to say, I don't think it is a red, but if that collision with Evans is anything other than spot on, he's off there because he's doing it because he's fucking fuming, isn't he?
So he has a tussle here with McTominay.
He's annoyed that he don't get a free
free kick here.
He kicks out.
Fouls in, that's already a foul. And then he flies into...
He's lucky he gets the ball a little bit there.
He's also looking at... Johnny Evans gets up straight away.
And he's screaming in his face. Diallo got fucking booked,
no, you know
sent off
what?
for that.
It should be... You probably should get 2 yellows there.
Yeah. The amount of time he's screaming in his face.
And Diallo's
been booked! Look, Diallo's having a go at the ref. He's so much less aggressive than Gibbs White. And he didn't get a booking for that. That should be a booking for the fouls and a booking for screaming in the ref's face that Diallo got booked for. That is ridiculous, isn't it?
Shit referee.
Diallo knows because he just got booked, sent off for Liverpool for the same fucking thing.
You'll have Dermot Gallagher defending that on Ref Watch, the absolute fraud.
So in the modern game, I think it's a booking. Just says in the modern game about everything, doesn't it?
Yeah, I can see why that's given.
That's not a foul, twat.
Oh,
that's shit.
Poor that from Varane.
Yeah, that is a booking and all. At least it's getting exciting now.
Yeah. What do you want? He's booking him. Shut up.
Certainly not more than that.
No. He tripped him up. He took his yellow. And they're all running over to the referee like, oh, ref. Poor that from Varane, to be fair. Should have got rid of that there.
And like you don't have to do much at all
That's
to win the ball, though, does
woeful.
it? And it's just a standard booking, innit? That'd be ones that would be a sin bin, I think, if you were to bring them in.
At least this game's, like you say, it's getting exciting. There's a bit of kicking off.
Yeah.
Bit of ag.
Yeah. Albert Ledder says, "Where's the booking for Descent?" Exactly.
You're right. When I said it shouldn't have been a yellow, it shouldn't have been a red, I meant for the challenge.
Yeah, me too.
But you nailed it with the thing of like, it's a booking for the foul, and then he kicks off, going berserk.
Yeah. Free kick though to Forest. Sort of 5 yards from the corner of the 18-yard box, directly out toward the touchline.
Who's that utter dickhead in the green coat in the crowd there?
Good, dangerous position for a free kick.
Yeah, it's very much so.
If you've got a left
Gibbs
foot
White
on it.
as well, he's just rattled everyone.
Yeah. Similar to the one we conceded from the other day, wasn't it? But United playing a bit of a higher line.
Just don't do something stupid.
Yeah, like let it go in near post
like
or
just
something. It's leaving his near post a bit open.
I know he is. That's what worries me. You've nailed it.
Free kick, fine. Headed away there, ish, by McTominay.
Don't fly in. Don't fucking...
You bastard. Yeah,
Jesus Christ.
Hold on.
Go on,
Now what,
Christian
now what,
Eriksen.
now what, now what, now what?
Where's Marcus and Diallo?
Not there. Ooh.
There you go. He's giving you a little nibble there, kid. Oh.
Good touch. Not quite the touch you wanted, but it worked out.
No.
you don't get
No,
paid for that.
no! I think he might have popped his shoulder there, you know.
Don't know what's going on there. Didn't look like an obvious path to injury.
I thought he
did
might
it?
have injured his other shoulder, but I don't think he has. He's all right.
Abdul mentioned in before the game that Rashford was not 100% before kickoff. He's looked very cautious with every part of him there, didn't he? The physio.
Yeah.
Is it hamstring, knee, hip? It could be anything, that. His
Shows you
legs-
where we're at,
okay.
man. You got a half-fit player playing out of position up front for Manchester United, and no one on the bench who can play up front.
No.
It's an absolute joke.
It is crazy, isn't it?
Yeah.
I don't think it's a severe injury. It doesn't look like he's done his knee or anything, does it? He's
No.
not, which is good. Anthony
Like the battle of the walking wounded.
looks like he's touching his hamstring there. Don't know whether that's... Don't know why. That was Anthony touching his hamstring, not Rashford. Rashford just sort of looked like all his...
No, I thought it was his shoulder because he wouldn't move because he was
Yeah.
prone on the floor. I thought as he'd done his other shoulder because he put his arm up like he didn't want to move his shoulder. But then it was his leg of some description.
Forest just on the halfway line. Rashford's gone off, hasn't he? But it didn't look like we were preparing a sub, did it?
No.
So I guess he'll come
I
back
mean,
on.
which is handy considering we've got absolutely no one who can even play up front.
That's true, yeah. It would have to be... What would you do? Palistri on...
Bruno. Yeah, was Palistri on the bench?
Bruno
Sorry, I
up
forgot.
front.
Yeah, Bruno up front. Yeah, Rashford's back on now.
Then are you playing as your attacking midfield? I don't even
I
know.
don't know. You just have to do it. God knows.
have to
just
do
put
something.
Dan Gold up front and that. Just leave it at that. Oh, you stuffy git.
That's a good ball. Free shot here, Forest 1-0.
Awful defending.
No defending at all, was it, really?
No, just left him on his own. Let him down the right-hand side. So easy. And then Dominguez, just completely unmarked, side foots it in from 10 yards out.
That's that goal we conceded about 10 times in the first 2 months of the season. Do you remember?
Just shit.
A pass across the 18-yard box. No one's on him, have they? Look, no one's on him at all the whole time. Look, he's open now. He stays open. No one gets near him. Just passes it in. It's too easy, isn't it? It's not Onana's fault, is it? Just no one there. No one near him the whole time.
Somebody's not close enough to him. Would Mainu have been there?
I don't know. To be fair, Mainu wasn't there when they had a similar shot in the first 2 minutes, was he?
No.
But
that doesn't mean he wouldn't have been there.
No, exactly, yeah.
And I think he's better defensively than McTominay. I'm
Completely
not saying
agree.
it's all on McTominay. I'm just saying these are the sort of things when, if we lose this game now, people look back and go, was that tactical change a good one? Obviously, Anthony one's enforced. He got an injury.
We just need to fucking keep hold of
Just
the ball a
fuck.
bit
This
more,
is
don't
it now. We've got to chase this game.
we? I know.
It's going to leave us more open. I felt like our best way was fucking scraping a 1-0.
Yeah,
I
me
don't
too.
see us getting a win here, but we can get a draw.
Yeah, I don't see a win at all. I don't
Fuck's
see how
sake.
we've not looked like scoring at all, have we? Let
Not
alone
really.
two.
That long range shot from Diallo was the only
Yeah.
time, wasn't it? Go on, McTominay, keep going. That'll do, that's alright, that'll do.
Come on. Bloody hell, well done, Varane. Everything's been blocked so far.
It's
hasn't
got
it,
to be
today?
quicker, haven't we?
Yeah. Wan-Bissaka's in here. Oh, fucking hell.
Jesus Christ, man.
Every
Got a corner.
fucking pass we make in the final third gets blocked. Like, surely there's some space somewhere.
I know, man.
Whether it's the vision and the ability of the player on the ball or the movement of the player off the ball, everything's just blocked.
It is, isn't it? Go on, Varane, get your head on it, son.
Corner to United. Back post.
Great corner.
Garnacho's hit it into the ground and roof of the net.
Oh, he nearly got away with that one then. He kind of scuffed it a little bit,
Yeah.
but it nearly bounced in. Let's have a look at this. Decent corner, this.
Yeah, it was.
Oh.
It's hard to score them, innit?
Yeah. Yeah, you've got to catch that perfectly, and he doesn't.
No.
Oh, mate. Good ball, though. Good corner for once from
Yeah,
United.
it was.
Don't let him. Go on,
hell.
Aaron.
It was almost an unbelievable touch, that, wasn't it? Fucking hell.
Come on, Garnacho. Keep going, son.
Just go short, go on. Diallo. Ahmad, should I say. Nice. Found a pass.
Yeah, he should have. You're
gone
right.
the other way there.
Abdul there, so he should have let that one go. He's right.
Bit better though from United. They're actually passing and moving, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Diallo passing it and running off the ball, getting it back. Ooh, he's lucky there. Well, I don't know if he's lucky, but they would have been on the break otherwise.
Come on, United. Let's get a fucking foot in this game.
Free kick to United. Played it short. Back to the halfway line. That free kick was in the Casemiro header range, wasn't it?
Yeah.
The Carabao Cup final and stuff. What's going on there? Go on, Ahmad. Just trying to build around the edge of their box, and it's not a good pass from Wan-Bissaka, that, although it's kept it
Too
in at
hard
least.
though. Oh, it's just
Weird from
it's
Varane, that.
so brainless.
Knocked on by the Forest player, just booted away. United have looked a bit better the last few minutes, admittedly, but we just need to turn it into actual shots and stuff rather than just slightly dangerous passing around the edge of their box.
Yeah, you're right. Not much happening really.
No.
I mean, little glimpses, but that you said, that final third pass got to be Diallo on a yellow as
I
well.
know, yeah.
Got to be careful.
Jumps into that one a bit as well, doesn't
Oh,
he? Looking at the subs bench there.
Palestri, Hannibal.
Hannibal.
That's it, innit? Really.
Yeah, unless you want to try something
Maybe
with
Regulon, yeah, that's not a bad shout.
But it's thin, innit?
Yeah, it is. It's very
Yeah.
threadbare.
Yeah, because it's all exciting about Mount and Casemiro and Martinez coming back in the next few weeks. But actually, since the Villa game, we've just lost our striker and not got anyone back.
Yeah.
And then Anthony's gone off injured. I know he's not been particularly good, but he's obviously an option. Such an easy goal, isn't it? Seeing a replay of their goal, just no one's within 2 yards of him.
No, I
hits
think
it.
Neville was pointing out there that Evans was playing offside and Varane wasn't.
Yeah. Little bits like that cost you, don't they? You're not
Yeah, they
marking
do.
the man, and then the difference between both your centre-backs stepping up and only one of them. Well then, that's not good, is it?
Rubbish. Straight across, straight to the keeper again.
You know.
Oh,
fuck me.
weak.
This is what Eriksen struggles with, isn't it? The back
Yeah.
and forth sort of basketball nature of a game. Those
Right.
70-yard sprints, he can't do them. This is where normally you'd want to bring Eriksen off, wouldn't you?
Yeah, 100%.
For a Mount or a Casemiro if he wasn't playing, or Mainu if he was. And instead you've got to keep him playing the whole game. He's still good on the ball, isn't he? Ah, come on. Someone needs a shout there. He needs a man-on shout there.
He's lost his head here, Bruno. You've got to be careful. I'm glad he got rid of that ball and that kid, because Bruno was about to go flying into him.
Forest just slowing the game down now. Fair enough, I suppose. What's happening now? Their captain is hamstring or something. Yeah, Evans plays him off and Varane plays him on.
Just pouring it in the end.
Yeah. No, Nana's got no chance.
No, is it? I don't know. Is it Neville who's mentioned the keeper's route to the spot or whatever? I don't think the keeper's going to save that.
No.
But just poor goal to concede for a multitude of reasons, and it kind of was coming as well. They were going into the game, they were getting more of the ball. Until fucking hell, Nico Williams coming on. Ex-Scouser will be loving that if he helps them win.
Oof. Come on, we've got to win one of them. Probably 20 minutes to go.
Yeah.
And a goal any time, and we could push for a second, but getting that first one's going to be hard enough, isn't it?
Yeah.
Jeff Whitefoot there, played for United in the 50s, at Forest in the 50s and United as well.
Nice.
How old were you when he made his debut?
I remember it well. It was great because it was rationing.
He's asleep.
He's asleep, bless him. Oh.
No surprise, is it?
Aye.
To be fair.
Aye. Don't blame you, Jeff.
No. It's not the most entertaining game, is it? The keeper should be coming for that. He could have picked it up. He's always going to go over there, wasn't it? The faintest of touches.
Yeah, it was silly that. This is shit, this game, and it's been one of the worst games ever.
We've not been particularly bad, have we? But
No.
it's just nothing's happened.
No.
Like if you compare this to the Bournemouth game or whatever, it's nothing like it.
No.
It's just been, like you said,
Drab.
what in the past would be
Boring.
an uneventful 1-0 win
Yeah.
is instead going to be an uneventful 1-0 loss, most likely.
Exactly.
Yeah. These are the games you have 4 or 5 a season like this where nothing really happens, but you need to be winning these games. Rashford, has he touched the ball since he came back on?
No, I don't think so. He looks goosed.
He does look goosed. But then you're bringing him off for Pellistri or whatever. Like, I won't trust him to... He can't catch it. He's pushed Rashford, though. He can't catch it! He's kicked it to himself, ref! Is that... He can't catch that, can he? You can't kick the ball to yourself and then pick it up. I'm sure you can't.
No, I don't think you can.
Can you? That's an interesting one.
Oh, Garnacho, man, you got to give it. You can't just keep running with it constantly.
Every 2 seconds I see his fucking face with the ball in his hands. He sliced it. Someone else touched it, maybe. I didn't think a keeper could kick it, chip it up to their own hands.
I didn't.
I guess obviously they can. I suppose if a keeper dived and made a save and it hit their foot,
Yeah.
you'd expect them to dive on it afterwards, wouldn't you?
I don't know exactly. Well done, Bruno.
Well
Well
done,
done,
yeah.
lad.
Forcing it though, innit?
Yeah.
This is what happens. Brilliant from Garnacho. Rashford. Yes! Get in! Fucking brilliant from Garnacho.
Yes!
Absolutely
Yes!
brilliant. And a brilliant finish from Rashford as well.
I've literally just tweeted.
Fucking
Garnacho,
brilliant.
Find the pass.
He's having a stinker, this keeper. He's all over the gaff. Get at him. His nerves have gone, bro. Yeah, he's having a shocker.
Good pressure from Garnacho.
Well, yeah.
This is brilliant. To
Well done,
slide and
Alejandro.
keep the ball and
Does
to know the
everything
pass
right
as well. It's a beautiful pass.
And a great finish.
It's a really, really good finish that from Rashford. First time, just like powerful, but rolls it into the bottom corner. That's a really nice finish.
Nice.
Come on!
Well done.
Proper goal, that. Well done.
That's actually come from him being on the right side.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
much more natural.
Well done, Garnacho. He's interesting, Garnacho, isn't he? Because
Brilliant goal. But that keeper, he had a bit of a funny one a minute ago,
Yeah.
where he kicked it to himself. Then he's kicked it to Garnacho,
fucking well done, Rashford.
like, and now he's slapping himself in the face. That's never a good sign. What the hell are you doing?
You know what he said?
Yeah, what the hell are you doing? What was he doing though? Like, genuinely? Because he had time and options to clear it.
I don't know.
Like, I don't know what. He wasn't under that much pressure where he he snatched at it. He just kicked it to Garnacho.
Yeah. Garnacho took half a chance, didn't he, as well?
Yeah, he did well.
went
To be
early.
fair, it wasn't right at Garnacho. He did well because he had to grab to get there, and then once he got it, he was superb.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was a stinker from Matt Turner there, your mate.
Yeah.
Hey, your doppelganger.
He may look like me, but I won't make that mistake.
You damn right you wouldn't.
I'd have just put it in my own net. Go on, United. I said that.
Go on, Diallo.
And then just before they could take me off, because I'm a clear defector, I'd have got the ball in the net a second time.
And then I'd have punched the ref to get a red before they took me off.
Yeah.
So the dark 10 man.
Punched the manager as well. Do you get sent off for punching your teammate? I can't remember.
Yeah,
what
you
happened.
do. Do you not remember? Oh, years ago,
Bowyer
that Stoke
and-
player got sent off.
Was it Bowyer and Dyer as well?
Oh yeah, they had a bit of a scrap. Was it? Who was it? Was that Newcastle?
Yeah.
Ethan.
When Kieran Dyer and Lee Bowyer had a fight, it was definitely for Newcastle.
Was that
wasn't
part of your European adventure? Oh no, it wasn't.
Slightly
No,
after,
it was
wasn't it?
Blackburn.
That
It was Blackburn's European adventure. Sorry, it was David Batty and Graham Lassalle for Blackburn when they got into the Champions League.
it? Fought each other.
Yeah.
Well done, Marcus. Although it's a good pass actually. Hudson-Odoi has come on at some point. I didn't even notice that.
Yeah, he came on just after that goal.
Cross to the back post. No one's there though for Forest.
Oh, what are you
Massive
doing?
shot from Diallo. Oh,
Honestly,
it's a poor
sometimes
touch, that.
Diogo Dalot, I don't know what planet he's on. Like, no one around him, and he just like miscontrols it like that.
Rashford's third touch inside the box today. That goal.
That's the real quiz. I wonder if that woke Jeff up. Do you reckon he's still asleep? Jeff.
I think he worked with a fry, don't you?
Where do you think his loyalties lie?
I don't know.
Because he left United in '57, so he might have won a title, innit?
Yeah, he might have fought in the war.
Oh my God. Garnacho here, doing bits.
Oh, Ericsson. Shot blocked, back to Diallo.
No! It's like Bruno dummied that. I don't know why he did.
I think he thought there was a man behind him.
Oh, no one can take a yellow here, can they? 'Cause they're on one.
No, McTominay can. I know, can he? Don't even know. Elanga now at the other end. There's a free shot on the edge of the box again. The same one they've scored from.
And
And
they've
they've scored
and
again.
it's him. I knew it would be. Morgan Gibbs-White.
How are we letting that happen again? How are we letting that same fucking goal happen twice? How are we letting that happen? It's insane, isn't it?
Yeah, really bad.
Just a pass across the edge of the 18-yard box. First time shot into the goal again. It's insane.
So poor.
McTominay leaving a fucking massive gap.
Oh, you know what? This is why you don't have McTominay on instead of Mainu. He's just done nothing. We haven't got a holding midfield player because you've took the one who was doing that job off.
It's a good finish as well, isn't it? Fucking hell, man. so annoying that. Just as we looked like we were fucking gonna try and push to win the game.
Like you saying, like Abdullah was saying, it was dumb from Bruno with a dummy. I don't know what he's doing there.
McTominay though, you think
Like,
he's doubling up on the man.
and
Like
leaving a man there.
like we've got loads of spare men. They're counter-attacking.
Yeah.
We haven't got many men defending this. You
Yeah.
have to go man for man there. You can't go 2-on-1 because it leaves other people unmarked.
That's all on. That's the risk you do with McTominay when he's bringing him off Manu on for him.
I know. I agree with that, but also you can't just take McTominay out of it as though, well, he gets to be shit because he's
No, he
McTominay.
doesn't. That's my point.
Yeah.
The manager overrates McTominay. That's what I've been saying.
Yeah,
I don't
but-
rate McTominay, and I think he does.
Yeah, but I would say that even a player who obviously is not Kobe Mainoo in terms of positioning, but McTominay should still know how to fucking watch where a man is. It's ludicrous, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
I know. I agree
No,
with
no,
you.
no,
That
I
you
hear
don't get that from McTominay, but why not?
Yeah.
We're not asking him to be more skillful or to fucking be able to do things physically that he can't. Just stand near the bloke who's free.
It's so shit.
It is so shit. That's all you have to do. Just stand near the person who's stood on the edge of the fucking 18-yard box. You don't have to be a genius to do that. I don't know what's gone on here. Some sort of VAR thing going on here. I don't know what for. So annoying that. McTominay tripping him over. McTominay just tripping him over. A petulant trip. He's done fuck all since he's come on McTominay, has he?
Thing is, right, everyone questioned it when he came on. Everyone was saying, it's a gamble that. Why are you doing that? Taking off Mainoo from McTominay. And now you're looking at it, you're going, has it paid off? No. It looks like it's a mistake by the manager. Right, you'll never know what would have happened if he kept Mainoo on. He might have still lost. But we know what has happened since Mainoo's come off. And it's the same thing that happens every time you have a midfield of the likes of Bruno and McTominay together. There's gaps. It doesn't work.
No, it was just
Like,
shit, innit?
both of them shit the bed on that one, by the way. Bruno with whatever he was doing, and then McTominay deciding I'm going to leave my man and go and help him out, which was idiotic.
Yeah.
So the pair of them are culpable.
Yeah. But there's a difference in there between taking a chance on their 6-yard line
100%.
and not fucking watching your man on the
And it's this constant criticism we have of McTominay. He's like, he just doesn't read the game.
They must see it, though.
I know, bro.
Ten Hag must see it. Like Mitchell van der Gaag, Steve McLaren must see it. That defensively, he's just all over the place, Scott McTominay. His positioning is horrendous on and off, with and without possession. Like, he doesn't show for his teammates. He doesn't track his man defensively. That's what he's good at. That's the thing he's best at defensively. He's done well there because he's won a header. And that's a fucking yellow card, ref. Mangala,
So annoying, that. He's a fucking liability, man. Honestly. Don't get it. I don't get how we're still having these discussions about it.
No. You can't just vacate the danger area to try and help someone when it's a counter-attack. Well done, ref.
Legit, right? You know what I see every single minute of every single game is people kicking off worse than the Low did against Liverpool, and nothing happens with it.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Like, the Forest players have lost their heads so many times today. Nothing, not a telling off, not a booking, nothing.
Corner to
Come on.
United. We can still get a draw out of this. Straight
Not
to
with
the
corners
keeper.
like that, we can't. Who was that? Was that Ericsson?
Yeah.
Just let
Literally
Bruno take it. Bruno
couldn't
didn't
have passed it to him
it's
better
just-
if he tried
I
that.
don't know. Ericsson might still takes corners. They're all terrible. It's his 14th loss of the season. Fucking hell.
Yeah, look, we've ended up the way that we thought we would. McTominay, the number 10. Bruno sitting deep with
So
Eriksen.
stupid.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Who's that? 29. Wan-Bissaka coming off for Reguilon. Diallo back over to the right.
Left to take it, yeah. Diallo on the
think
right.
so, wouldn't you?
That makes sense.
See, look, just get this. Bruno booting the ball up front. Then winning the header. It's not a foul.
Come on, we get a draw now. I feel like a win.
Problem is, you get Bruno sits deep and then you don't have anyone to put the ball in
That's
the
what I
box.
mean, man. It's just so dumb. It just cocks up the whole team.
End up relying on long balls. Like
Ericsson, stop doing that.
this is what we do. That
Jesus Christ.
The gap grows between the midfield and the attack because Bruno sits deep to get the ball off the defenders. And then we just have to boot the ball to the attackers because Scott McTominay can't link play together as a number 10. He's not a number 10. 10 minutes stoppage time. I have no fucking clue where that's come from, do you?
Matt, there was Rashford, there was the
Yeah, I
kick-off,
suppose.
there was the confusion as well with the, plus there's been 3 goals.
Yeah, it seems a lot though, doesn't it?
It does
10.
seem excessive, but
Yeah.
I'll take it.
Yeah,
Not that
no,
I
great.
particularly think was going to score, but you never know.
10 minutes though, they can score as well, but we can get it
Jesus
all in 10
Christ.
minutes. Yeah. The one hope I do have about Bruno playing slightly deeper is the fact that Eriksen's still there means that hopefully Bruno won't have to come
It's a poor
quite
header.
as deep as he normally does.
Oh.
Well done, Bruno. There you go. I just hate it when we just go long. That's fucking
Far too hard. Far too hard.
Ten Hag telling him to calm down. We do this though, don't we? Just look panicky in the last few minutes. Haven't we beat Forest like 11 times in a row or something?
Yeah.
I think you just said Brian Clough was the last manager who's beaten Forest.
beaten-
Sorry, the last Forest manager who's beaten United.
That says it all. Like, he died about 15 years ago, didn't he?
Yeah. $20.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Fucking hell.
Come on, get something out of this. They've not even been particularly good for us, really, have they? They've not done loads.
Go on, Diallo.
Just sit deep and we don't really know what to do. It's going to be 8 minutes of us passing it around.
Do you know what I mean? You think we were 3-0 up. I know you got to work an opening, but bloody hell.
And then it's a long ball up. That's what we do.
And then it ends up with Forrest getting the ball.
You can't come out of that with the ball. Fuck me. Hold on, Johnny.
Oh, he's got a head
fuck
injury, has he?
off.
Him, Gibbs White. It's not even a head injury, it's his back. Why are you stopping play for that?
Oh, he's a dead leg and a half, though. Even so, you're not meant to stop for a dead leg, are you?
yeah, stop the game for a dead leg.
It's insane how many games we lose, isn't it? Absolutely, like mind blowing how often we lose. Brailsford there. I mean, he don't look any different when we're winning, does he? But yeah, it was Sir Alex next to him. Gives White.
Someone just put in my group chat. 14 losses this season. This hasn't happened for 93 years. Is that true? If it stays like this, obviously.
I don't know. What?
Yeah.
We haven't lost for 93 years. That many games in a whole season, or by this point?
Probably by this point before the new year.
Before the new year. Fucking hell. I was gonna say, it felt like we lost 14 games in all comps last season. Not last season, the year before, sorry. But fucking hell.
Come on, there's a goal here. Go on, Diallo. You're the guy. Ahmad.
I don't know how we plan on getting the ball into the box.
Here we go. Go on.
Into a decent area. Go on, Joe. Crosses it. Corner ball. Come on.
Come on, let's have a decent corner here for once.
We've not got. Well, I suppose Evans,
Eric's
McTominay.
like the best corner we've seen so far has been from Bruno.
Yeah, that deep one to go.
Yeah.
Oh, come on, ref. Stop.
You're wasting fucking time, you dickhead.
They just love it, don't they?
Telling him off. Leave him, it's a foul, we'll take the penalty.
Why are you telling him about that? VAR's watching? Of course, he knows it is, and if he doesn't, then he's a dickhead and you give a penalty. Gone deep to Bruno. Good shot. Oh!
How's he saved that?
How's the...
Oh, I thought that was a goal.
I did. Bruno did as well. It's a good connection. Oh.
His old man as well, I think.
It was.
Good corner, that. More of the same, please, Christian Eriksen.
Come on. It is the exact same again. Bruno. Pat shot from ball there.
I think it was I thought it was his chest, but
Yeah, I didn't really see.
my eyesight's not the best.
He's all over him there. Oh, they're counter-attacking now. Don't stop sprinting, Ahmad. Go past him if you need to and tackle him. You know he wants to go down. Well done.
Ahmad Diallo did brilliant there.
He did.
To the kid.
Yeah, I thought he was going to foul him and it'd be fucking... What? Rashford offside. How long do you have to be back, like... You're not allowed to challenge the ball even after they've taken 2 touches? The original one's going wide, I think. I suppose that's what you do. You just get it low into a good area and hope.
Come on, Vieira. You should be able to find a foul in there somewhere. You know what I mean? That was United the other way around. There are about 18 people looking at that, looking for a pull on a shirt somewhere to give them a penalty. Fucking hell, man.
Same again. That's not gone out. The full ball didn't cross the line there. Good play there from Garnacho. It's a good ball as well. Good touch, Ahmad. Go on, lad.
Oh, near post. No, there's a struggle there to get it in from there, kid.
Shot, really, wasn't it? If he goes back post as well, someone might get a touch on it.
Abdullah, do you want to jump in here? Let's go.
United just, 2.5 minutes to go now. Too much of seeing their shots of their keeper just with the ball in his hand, bouncing it. Every shot we have is at the keeper or him claiming crosses or whatever. Hold on. It's going to be their ball. It's our ball now. Go on.
It's our ball.
Well done, Ahmad.
All day.
Well done, lad.
Go on.
Oh, fuck's sake. They're going to take a minute.
How's
on
that
this as well,
what?
aren't
Mate, there's been about 4 or 5 minutes just time wasting in this added time.
Gibbs White was
and we're
down
not
for a
getting any
minute.
of it.
Frustrating, isn't it, this?
Man. It's so annoying.
Yeah.
So annoying because this was like the game. Villa was the game for me. Like, I felt like it was massive for Eric, massive for the team.
Yeah.
But I felt this was the game where it's like, all right, now we can string something.
Yeah. Let's
end the
start a
new
little
year.
run.
You got Spurs. You go in with confidence. Well in, Garnacho. Well played, son. Let that out. Ref. So what's a foul?
Fucking knobhead laying on the ball as well. It does my head in that.
This ref is just giving out yellows for fun, but it was all right when Gibbs White broke every single rule for like 10 seconds.
Yeah. Slide tackling through everyone.
Joke.
Screaming at the ref.
Absolute joke. He shouldn't have even been on the pitch, Gibbs White.
Yeah.
He shouldn't.
So annoying. The 2 goals, aren't they? They're almost the same goal. I know they put them in different corners, but
Yeah.
it's that exact same area that we've just left completely unmarked.
Scott McTominay and tracking runners. It's just like that Brighton game at home. Same thing.
Yeah.
It's so evident. Like, how are the coaching staff not seeing this? Who are these old bastards that we're hiring? Because it can't be like some sort of like modern data analysts or whatever, like people that understand the game or like rewatch footage. Because how was no one seeing that and picking up? That's embarrassing.
Yeah.
It's absolutely embarrassing. People need to lose jobs over certain players playing. Simple as that. Not only some of these players need to be getting sold, but players that continuously play in positions that cause us problems. Great ball from Garnacho. Keeper spills it, but we don't get it.
He's fucking grabbed everything, hasn't he? Other than the one that he fucked up. Again, it's another shot of Turner with the ball in his hands because we've crossed it straight to him.
So frustrating, man. Honestly.
Yeah, no, isn't it?
So frustrating. Can't be it. It'll be at least another minute and a half, I reckon. What's he putting his hands up for? You spent about 3 minutes wasting time minimum. Oh, this guy do anything right.
Come on.
I also think Reguilon should have just been on from time back.
Ahmad? Ericsson? Oh, fucking hell!
How have you done that?
That's shit.
And he's ended.
Full time, there you go. 2-1, Forest.
Absolute joke.
Fuck's sake, another loss. Just every time you think there's a little bit of a glimmer of hope, a bit of consistency, a good performance, we follow it with a fucking weekend ruining bag of shit. What is it with this? Why is it 1 win, 1 loss, 1 win, 1 loss? What's going on?
I think it's quite difficult because Forest is always going to be a difficult game, but it's just, again, there's things that you can change in this game, and for me, we need to know what's going on with Kobe. Because that change didn't make any sense at all. We needed to continue trying to find any sort of control in the game. So you go and take him off. And Scott McTominay has given us a good example of how he tracks runners so poorly previous to this. You go and put him up against Gibbs White, who's one of the best players in the league at scoring those type of goals.
Yeah.
Looking on the edge of the box. Dominguez, who I highlighted as well before the game. Like, joke, like even the Marcus Rashford like goal, that's the only real decent chance we had in terms of like something on the ground, something decent, like. And then in the end, we put the urgency on and we actually get close to goal. Ahmad has the shot on the inside. Like, why does it take us that long to have that much urgency? It doesn't make any sense at all. Also, Ahmad stays in this team for me. Don't know about you.
Yeah, I thought he looked good.
From what I've seen, he already stays in this team.
If Hoyland comes back, maybe we could have the Garnacho Rashford thing, but
Yeah,
Ahmad
yeah,
looked a lot more dangerous.
But he's in ahead of
composed than
Anthony. He
did.
stays
Yeah,
in this team
definitely.
for me, Ahmad. Definitely.
We'll be back in a few minutes with the full review. Joe will be back on that as well. Thank you for joining us. Thanks, Abdul, for coming on. Shame it's fucking another loss. 14th loss of the season for Man United before the end of the year, which is absolutely ridiculous. Kieran with a super chat before we go says, I back Ten Hag, but that half-time sub cost us the game. We played well without a number 6 for the whole second half. Loss is on the manager today, unfortunately. We'll get into all of that. We'll have a look at what went wrong for Manchester United. Was it that substitution of Kobe Mainoo? What exactly happened? Make sure you stick around because we're back and you can stay where you are. You'll be automatically taken to the review. Fucking Nottingham Forest 2, Manchester United 1. Another loss for Manchester United. We'll see you in a bit.